Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi. I'm excited to finish the event. This is fun so far, but oh my goodness, Orphalune. Orphalune just being used. Also Helena, the VIP daughter. So the side stuff has story, right? So let me just... I guess I'll start off with the little side thingies. So beyond the stage 1, another story is playing out beyond the stage. Amazing! Yeah, she got played so bad. But I hope she stays safe. Like, I like Orphalune still. Doot. After hearing the engaged tone through the communicator, Helena spaces out for a while before numbly ending the call. She did it again without saying a word. She just went off by herself again without telling me anything. But this time, I'm not gonna stand around waiting like an idiot. I need to do something. Helena clenches her fists. The after effects of falling for that trap in the city have been fully faded and her head still aches faintly. However, she powers through with sheer will and forces herself to get up before changing out of her hospital gown. 2 Nomful guards are standing watch outside of her sick room. Helena makes up an excuse to get them out of the way, then surveys her surroundings, ensuring that there's nobody around to see her. But right as she's about to head outside, her communicator finally rings again. Colleen? Len and I are head to the hospital. The evacuation of Lviv has begun, and it's a madhouse out here. Stay in your room and don't wander around. We're coming to get you. I'm fine. This place is still safe for now, so focus on helping Nomfo to organize the evacuation. I'll meet up with you at the safe house. And yes, surroundings. Colleen, are you hiding something from us? Why do you say that? You're planning to go it alone again, aren't you? I do want to confirm some things, yes. Colleen, you should know by now that this is a secure internal channel Len and I made for 404. You don't have to worry about being overheard by anyone else. So what's the big secret that you can't even tell us? The line is silent for a moment. Helena closes the door with a click, then heads over to a secluded corner of the sick room. I want to help the commander. What? You want to help the commander? What happened to her? I don't know, but just now the commander told me to delete all my comm logs with her. So I strongly suspect that she's going to do something dangerous by herself again. That's why I want to help her. But Colleen, your body... I know, you don't have to tell me. But I am not going to watch the commander walk into danger again while I do nothing. I swear I'd face this sort of thing with her, together. Also, the commander owes me a date. Lena laughs helplessly. Looks like you're determined to do this. I take it that nothing I say now can change your mind? Yeah. Alright, fair enough. Still, there's no reason for you to hide that from us, you know? You do know our commander has no name or identity in the system, right? Were you seriously planning to try and track her down in a big place like Lviv all by yourself? When you contacted me earlier, I managed to pinpoint her location. Oh my! You really were going to look for the commander all on your own? Helena sighs heavily as she realizes that the unspoken meaning of Leva's words. Listen to me, Leva. What I'm about to do is most likely going to violate Nomfa's confidentiality regulations, as well as various URNC laws too. If the powers that be decide to conduct an investigation, what happens to me is one thing, but I don't want you to end up... So you do know what's in store for you after all, don't you? But Colleen, have you forgotten? The only reason that we even joined the Nomfa in the first place is because of our personal relationship with you and the director. We're here to help you, not the URNC. Surely, a situation like this is when we can truly shine, right? But if the commander and I end up as wanted criminals after this, you'll become illegal dolls too. Illegal dolls. That takes me back. You do remember I was using a SF frame until recently, don't you? That's hardly law-abiding behavior. Right. We've just arrived at the hospital. Leva's gasp of surprise is accompanied by a shrill alarm going off inside the hospital. Emergency! Your attention, please! Unidentified lifeforms have breached the hospital perimeter. Emergency response measures have been activated. All staff are to cease their duties immediately and evacuate along their designated routes in an orderly manner. Medical personnel are to assist mobility-impaired patients in their care and prioritize evacuation. Security personnel are to assist them. Please remain calm, do not push or shove, and follow the fluorescent signs to the nearest exit. We repeat. Ooh, they also used to be a pretty illegal organization. Oop. Leva? What's going on out there? The hospital PA systems are saying that there's been a breach by unidentified lifeforms. Does it mean? Yep, Elids. But Lviv is a city in the white zone. How could they? I believe all this is related to what the commander was telling you just now. Unfortunately, we don't have time to figure out exactly what she meant. Our current priority is to evacuate you safely. Monstrous roars can be heard through the comm channel, coming from Leva's side. Used to be. You would only hear things like that in the yellow zone. Lena, prepare for battle. Got it! Well, it's a good thing they were headed here, or else, oops. But nah, Helena will be fine. Wow, though. She pinpointed her location. How terrifying. Helena, are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine. Let's leave the hospital, then head for this location ASAP. My last contact with the commander placed her at that location. Lena, analyze the coordinates Colleen sent us. Okay, leave it to me. As Lena analyzes the coordinates, the alarms inside the hospital grow increasingly urgent. Orderlies and nurses rush to help their patients to the emergency exits. Some of the patients in question were in the middle of surgery when the alarms were triggered. Oof! The procedures were suspended and they were wheeled out of the operating theater after receiving only the basics of emergency care. It hurts so bad. Please hold on a little longer. We will administer pain medication once we get to safety. A nurse pushing a gurney races past Colleen and the others. However, one of its wheels suddenly seizes up, sending it careening down a flight of stairs! Ah! Look out! Or rather, it would have if not for Colleen rushing over and grabbing one of its side rails. Let me lend you a hand. Thank you so much! Helena holds onto the side of the gurney and helps guide it to the emergency exit. However, the nurses, followed by more medical staff, helping patients evacuate. They're coming from all directions and they all flood into the corridor where Helena is standing. I'm sorry, but we only have space for severe cases. Why don't I help you move? Bless your heart, young lady. Hey, isn't anyone gonna help me out here? I paid a lot of money to get top class ward. I deserve top class treatment. Hey, you over there. You're doll right. Get over here and get me out of this place. Leva looks up and glances coldly at the man. However, just as he finishes speaking, a gurney rushing out of an operating theater crashes into his wheelchair and sends him flying. Oops! The wheelchair spins several times and comes to a halt, teetering precariously on the edge of a wall. It is then that Kalina realizes the man on the wheelchair has lost both his legs. But before she can think about the matter in detail, a heart-rending scream from behind draws her attention. Make way, please, everyone! This lady is about to give birth! We need to get her to safety ASAP! Sheesh! Just then, another, more frantic alarm comes in over the hospital's PA system. Once again, this is an emergency announcement! Unidentified lifeforms are currently closing in. All medical personnel, please evacuate your patients to the designated safe areas ASAP! However, the loudspeaker's announcement is swallowed up by the clamor in the background. All it does is blend with the background noise and add to the babble of voices around them. The hospital security does their best to maintain order. However, they were clearly too used to peace because the sudden outbreak of chaos leaves them at a loss for what to do next. Miss Colleen, I finished analyzing the coordinates. I cross-referenced it with the local map and uploaded it to the comm channel. According to the map, the commander's last known position was near a research building owned by the Gerard Group. So, are we heading out? As she takes in the chaotic scene before her, Helena finds herself unable to decide immediately. She has waited 10 whole years just to find the commander's trail again. She would like nothing better than to rush to her side right away and face whatever is coming with her. Even if that means plunging into hell along with her. But... crack. Roar! The massive monstrous silhouette of an Elid bursts into the hospital building, accompanied by the sound of breaking glass and its ferocious roar. The security guards try to return fire, but their efforts are futile. In an emergency like this, their lack of combat experience means that they do little more than serve as appetizers for the monsters. Yummy. Let's put that on hold for now. After a brief silence, Helena takes out her handgun and takes aim at the Elid. Lena, will focus on protecting and evacuating the civilian. As for the rest, we'll worry about it later. Yes, ma'am. Sheesh! So much chaos at the hospital. At least the patients are gonna be evacuated now. Beyond the stage 2, another story is playing out beyond the stage. Oh no. What's gonna happen this time? Everyone, make way please. I'm Counselor Helena from the Nomfa. So corporate security troops arrive, I'll be taking charge of this evacuation. All combat-capable personnel fall back now and prioritize evacuating the civilians. Avoid engaging the Elids as much as possible. Helena didn't need to emphasize that. These ordinary security guards have no chance of surviving a direct clash with Elids. However, Helena's leadership means that their formation isn't as sloppy as before. As they cover the orderly withdrawal of the patients, they also manage to avoid needless casualties. Thank you, Helena. Lena, sit up. We've got 5 or 6 unknown heat sources near the hospital. 3 of them have been visually confirmed as Elids. Half a dozen. I can't believe there are so many out there. Looks like this isn't an accident. No wonder the commander said all that. Halin, the human guards won't last long. If the defense line breaks, the Elids will run right through the building. It's not going to be pretty. Helena, the other enemies on the perimeter are coming over. They're Elids too. Got it. Lena, from now until the evacuation is complete, I'm lifting all restrictions on weapon use in the wait zone. So go out there and kick their asses. Looks like I'll be getting a proper workout. After all, I haven't been in a proper fight ever since I changed over to this new body. I'll work with Leva. Aw, they're gonna be the best 2 dolls. I hope after this the security guards end up getting more training since I feel like I didn't sign up for this. I'm unprepared. Almost done. Helena looks back at the almost empty hospital lobby and puts her gun away. In front of her, Leva and Lena are wrapping up their battle with the Elids. The evacuation's almost complete. You guys had better run off for your lives too. As Leva addresses the hospital guards, she studies the Elid limbs scattered across the ground. These men are lightly armed and barely qualify as combat capable. They look at each other, then nod to Leva and Helena before beating a hasty retreat. Like, even if it's not even supposed to be possible, the fact that they exist, like, even if it's outside of the area, like, I'd be paranoid as heck. If these Elids manage to reach the hospital in the middle of the wait zone, the outside must be absolute chaos. Meh, we can leave that rest to Nomfa. Leva stretches and then heads over to Helena. Say, Colleen, since the people Nomfa is sending over to take over the scene haven't arrived yet, you have a chance to do what you want to do. Yeah. Helena nods. Lena, send me the map and those coordinates from just now. Gosh darn it, kid. Freaking kid. The faint sound of a child's crying filters its way over from a corner of the hospital lobby. Colleen looks for the source of the voice and finds a trembling child hiding behind an ornamental plant. Hey kiddo, why are you still here? Where's your family? What, big sis? I don't know where mommy went. There, it's alright. Big Sis will take you to a safe place. Helena takes a quick look around. The hospital's evacuation corridor isn't closed yet. She just needs to bring this kid to the underground holding area and hand her over to the workers there. After that, she'll have enough time to go find the commander. With that thought in mind, she bends down and takes the girl's hand. Come on, let's... Leva, our imaging shows that we still have mobile heat sources. What? Leva immediately realizes something is wrong somewhere. The small guns used by the security personnel don't have much in the way of stopping power. It's entirely possible that hitting an eyelid in its vitals might not have been enough to finish it off. However... Colleen! Behind you! There's no time to turn around. Helena scoops the girl into her arms, operating entirely on instinct. She doesn't have time to see what's behind her, only to roll aside, aiming for a place of cover. Blam! The ponderous report of a sniper rifle's discharge fills the air behind Helena. The eyelid staggers back, a gaping hole in its head before crashing to the ground, completely motionless. Sheesh! Hello, it is very, very hot here. I'm tired, but it's okay. I want to finish Corpus on 2. I'm excited enough. And stay down. Helena hears a familiar voice coming from above her. She looks up and sees a pair of dolls emerging from hidden positions on the hospital's second floor. Miss Helena, are you alright? Beside Springfield, Macchiato puts away her smoking gun. Both of them jump down from the balcony and approach Helena. Springfield. And is that you, Macchiato? You... Shouldn't you have gone back after being cleared by Nomfa? This area is very dangerous. There's no telling what might happen next. I'm worried that... Don't worry. We'll be fine provided Lev and Lena don't report our legal discharge of firearms to the administration. Oh dear, it's a bit late for that. I just reported a case of illegal arms possession by a civilian doll, as well as the use of said firearms without authorization. It's a really serious charge, you know. Eh? Leva? Hey, this isn't the time to be joking around. Helena looks at the two of them, and a worried look crosses her face. So anyway, why are the two of you still in the white zone? I mean, she must need all the help she can get, right? After reading between the lines, Springfield smiles in a soothing way. She knew you all too well. She told me that she was afraid that you get impulsive and do something stupid, so she asked us to secretly protect you. Protect me? But she's the one who needs the most protection. She's the one who ran off into a dangerous place like a Gerard Group lab, and then she said, "Don't contact me again." Haven't you realized it yet, Miss Helena? What? You're doing exactly what the commander did 10 years ago. You mean... 10 years ago in Frankfurt, the commander did what you just did. She tried her best to protect everyone. I'm not that great. I can't bear to watch the people around me in danger and not do anything about it. But that was the same pure mindset the commander had when she set out to save everyone around her. I know I don't have the right to comment on this subject. But as long as your hearts are aligned, why worry about meeting her rather than later? As long as you both walk the same path, then someday, you will encounter again. A mix of emotions wells up on Helena's face. She lowers her head, shrouding her face in shadow, as though she doesn't want people to notice the red around her eyes. I see. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but sometimes I'm jealous of all you dolls, Springfield. I'm jealous of how you can discard everything and stay by his side. But as for me, I still have responsibilities to bear as a human being. Well, my current self does, at least. And there are still things I can do. Helena raises her head. The confusion in her face is gone, replaced by a look of determination. Springfield, Macchiato, can you help me to send this girl to a safe place? Right now, I'm going to be like the commander. Good luck, Helena. Man, speaking of the commander, I can't wait to get my little plushie. Tomato Emperor, come home already! At least I'll be getting my Robella and Sopa plushie. It says by tomorrow. I wonder if it's actually gonna come tomorrow, though. Door ajar. When the door cracks open, you will see the truth of the world. The truth. Adults filled with expectation, children screaming soundlessly, and nutrients dissolving into blood. It all happens too fast, so fast that, although I want to stop it, I can only stand there and watch as everything unfolds. The liquid in the pipes running in from every direction begins to surge, racing to funnel the amber nutrients into the floral pod that encases Helena. In mere seconds, the pod swells from a human-sized translucent sphere into a colossal bud filling half of the laboratory. The sepals slowly unfurl, luminous veins lighting up along the plant's structure. Oh no! Ew! Helena, no! We can still save her, right? I'm thinking of ordering the little running Popo doll. It's cute. Because I found a seller that has it, so I'm tempted. So many Helena. And thus, the gateway to Nirvana's open. Oh no! Well, when Macchiato's food finally hits you, no! Yeah, loving Frontline. And the shipping is not bad. Oh, that scene with Helena was a reference to the third Matrix movie. Ooh. I still gotta watch The Matrix. I'm so bad. My body sways. For a moment, I nearly collapse from the vertigo in my mind. A wave of acid rises in my stomach, nausea overwhelming me. I force myself to breathe, to steady myself. My consciousness was somehow displaced. That instant, I'm certain it was only an instant, felt like an eternity. I clearly remember what I saw, or so I thought, but when I try to recall it, pain lances through my temples, and nothing comes to mind. Brain not braining. No, I do remember. At the end of that grotesque illusion was a familiar sight. It was her. Is that why I was able to break free? The laboratory ceiling is pierced through by the plant, revealing a blood-red sky. Through the shattered dome, I see that once clean and orderly streets outside have already been overtaken by wildly rampaging, rapidly growing vegetation. Countless vines burst from the earth, their branches extending at terrifying speed, greedily claiming every inch of the land they can reach. The new shoots sprout out from those branches, and at the tips bloom countless buds that unfold into blue flowers. Perhaps epiphyllums? No, though strikingly similar, it was not the same, but something else, deceptively alike. Rosa steadies my shoulder, only then do I realize that my body has been trembling non-stop since moments ago. My hand grips the gun so tightly that the pattern on its handle has been engraved into my palm. The dolls respond to my order immediately and open fire at the roots of the vines snaking outward. Ooh, her could be a lot of people, but there's a very important her the commander knows that now only exists in Nirvana. Oh! But bullets are no match for the plant's growth. For every vine severed, more surge forth, spilling outward in all directions. A vine slithers behind me before I even notice, when Messina dives, tackling me aside, then raises her weapon and blasts it apart in one swift motion. Thank you, boy Messina! Please help her. Alba withdraws with 404. The dolls cover our retreat upward, providing heavy suppressive fire as we climb, allowing us to reach the upper level safely. Above us stands Igla, with a bewildered Orphalune at her side. The grotesque image of Nirvana is reflected in Orphalune's eyes, the only color upon her pale face.
当然よ。あの事件が起きたこと自体過ちなんだから。
Sorry, Orpheloon.
私は確かに見たの。放射線も息袋もなく苦しみから解放された世界を。でも今の光景は全然違う。10年間目指してきたものが嘘だったっていうの。
現実を受け入れてあなたはチルロビグに利用された。
Well, now you know, Orpheloon. This is the truth.
私ならきっとそうだ。チルロビグ、あなたはもう降りなさい。権限を私に返して。私ならきっともっといい
Yeah, I can fix this totally.
だって天才なんだから。世界を救うにはもうそうするしかないわ。
Nobody answers. I look up at Chilobeg, only to find her gazing in rapture at the hellish tableau before her. That exaggerated, nauseating smile once again on her face.
見てよこの景色。悲願
She's so into this.
すべての思想、すべての知識、あらゆる次元の存在が同居している。時間の本質は、生命の起源は、意識はどうやって生まれるのか、宇宙に果てはあるのか、これらの答えが全部見つかる。後世の科学者はどういう風に私を評価するんだろうね。偉大にして白深く常識
The
にとらわ
great
れない
erudite.
思考と先見の明の持ち主で比類なき才能を遺憾なく発揮し、世界を変革へと導いたチルロビグ博士とか。
I mean, descriptions.
そもそも気にする必要なんかないか。たとえ評価されるまで50年、100年、200年経とうとも、私はその時まで待てばいい。私はもう時間に縛られない自由な存在なんだから。かあ、そうは言ってもやっぱ今すぐにでも聞きたいな。被害スペースに入れば聞けるのかな。
Whatever you say, Chilobeg.
早く。これ以上の悲劇が起きる前に何もかもリセットしないと。
Hearing her name, Chilobeg shades her eyes theatrically and looks around.
あ、呼んだ？こんなの間違ってる。早く権限を私に返して。さあ、お嬢様ね。でもさ、間違ってるってどこが？
He's like, what mistakes? It's all according to plan.
払うべきじゃないわ。何より私が見たものと違う。かわいそうに。まだわからないの？この世のすべては代償が伴うんだよ。それもあんたが想像するよりずっとね。
Chilobeg leaps down from the platform, approaching Orpheloon step by step. She stops directly before her.
悲願スペースで何を見たかなんてどうでもいいし、それもあんたのものじゃない。所詮は叶わない幻想。あんた天才なんだ。
You're talentless.
ただ
Ouch.
祝福された運のいい凡人。真理を見るべきは私みたいな本物の天才なんだよ。私も私たちの夢のために一緒に頑張ってきたんじゃないの？最初から違う目的を持っていて、なおかつリビウ全体を犠牲にするつもりだったの。嘘でしょ？正気じゃない。しかも私まで共犯者に仕立てて。だってしょうがないじゃん。悲願スペースに選ばれたのはあんた
Wow,
な
so
の。
lucky.
祝福を受けたものなのに、私が何年も協力してようやく壁を乗り越えたくらいバカなあんたをね。選ばれたのが私だったら5年前にはリビウを焦土に変えてたの。でもバカなおかげで私の思い通りに動いてくれたのも事実だしね。もっと頭のいい誰かだったらここまでうまくいかなかったかも。有名な例え話なんだけどさ、知識は刃物、医者が持てばメスだけど人殺しが持てば命を奪う道具。あんたのような科学に敬意がないにもかかわらず真理を掴んだバカにこの世を切り裂く殺戮者がお似合いってわけ。ことが済んだらロレンに生体情報と頭の中に入ってる全てを奪われるだろうね。ま、その時まで生きていればだけど。
Orpheloon, go punch her. Or, Eagle can punch her instead. Before any of us can react, Igla seizes Chillovig by the collar and slams her to the ground. Her body lands in a grotesquely twisted posture, bone snapping crisply. Igla's no longer the picture of grace she once was. With her cold mechanical hands, she clamps down Chillovig's throat and rains punch after punch upon that detestable face. Wow! So Chillovig's features contort in agony, her lips twist into a grotesque, lopsided grin.
無駄だと分かってるのにご苦労様。やっぱりあんたに一番怖いのはお嬢様に内緒で。黙れ！
With a sharp crack, the connection between Chillovig's head and body seems to give away. Oop! But Igla doesn't stop. She continues hammering the corpse until its face becomes an unrecognizable mess. Beside them, Orphalu's mouth hangs open. She seems about to scream, but no sound comes out. Ooh. Yeah, now Ojo-sama's gonna be scarred for life.
私に協力して。
How nice, face-smashing ASMR. Definitely one Igla versus the 100 Chillovigs.
汚れ仕事したこと。
Wow. A newly regenerated Chillovig steps from the hatch, barely finishing a few words before collapsing into blood once more. Then a second, a third, a fourth. Igla drops her emptied pistol and draws another, firing toward the platform again and again.
もういい。もういい。全員嘘つきよ。みんな私を騙して。お父様もチルロビグもイグラまで。 嘘つき！お嬢様、これはすべてあなたの私のため？もう聞き
All for you, Ojo-sama.
私のためとか言って私を言いくるめてジェラードの悲願を叶える道具都合のいい操り人形にしか思ってないくせに私が何も知らないとでも思ってるの？自分が凡人なことくらい分かってる。 数学の授業で居眠りしてた私が
I used to sleep in math class.
天才になれるわけないでしょ。お父様に聞いても何も言わないし、ただ嬉しそうにメディアの前で私を天才少女科学者に仕立てただけ。いくらに悩みを打ち明けても、そんなことより研究に注力してくださいって言われた。やっと分かり合えたと思ったチルロビグも研究のボトルネック。 果ては研究をやめることの相談もした。
Orphalu's life is a lie.
今まで会ってきた中で一番の天才で世界を変える希望だって言ったのに、何度も研究を投げ出したくなったのに、あなたたちが励ますからなんとか走り抜けてきた。
That is pretty sad, though.
でも結局はあなたたちが用意したレールを走ってただけ。私の意志を
Igla suffered her greatest loss. She's lost the right to call Orphe Ojo-sama. Oh no!
本当は天才なんかになりたくなかった。なりたくなかった。散々その肩書きでいい思いしてきたくせに虫が良すぎない。さ、わがままを言う暇があったら 頭を上げて本当の天才が誕生する瞬間を見ててよ。
Yet another Chillovig steps from the hatch. As if there's no end to how many times she can do this, Igla lowers her gun in despair. Seeing her surrender, Chillovig shrugs and turns to leave. Then, as if suddenly remembering something, she pauses mid-step.
あ、そうだ。あんたにはいろいろ助けられたから。
Wow, these Chillovigs were already prepared. They have clothes on and everything. Versus that one who came out naked. Nah. Faithful sacrifice. The moment she became a sacrifice, she could not complete her mission. No! Nah, I'll keep her. The instant Chillovig reaches out her hand, Igla's body suddenly begins to convulse violently. She drops to her knees in agony, barely managing to prop herself up with one hand. On her back, something seems to tear through her usually immaculate clothes. Oh no! Two blood-soaked skeletal frames pierce through the third-gen doll's synthetic skin and extend outward. I can almost hear the frenzied sound of bones growing. Well... It's the one to keep Igla. There's no time to think about or think it through. Igla's body rapidly swells, elongates, and contorts, transforming into a massive monstrosity before me. She stretches the bloody and bony wings on her back and lets out a shrill, anguished screech. Please still love Igla. She became an eldritch plant monster, yes. The mutated Igla seems to be consciously struggling to control her movements, but under the grip of the transformation, all effort is futile. Her enormous body beats its wings and launches indiscriminate attacks in every direction. Caught off guard, the dolls and I are swept off her feet and the gill up from her wings. Rose and Clove drag me back, but the first to be caught in the shockwave is Orpheloon, who stands frozen, staring blankly at everything unfolding. Go get Ojo-sama! Where Messina charges toward Igla is before massive wings sights down over Orpheloon's head. She seizes the tip of its bony spur with her brute strength, but even with all her power, she can only barely hold it in place. The blade-like wing descends inch by inch, where Messina's body sinks lower and lower, her frame beginning to emit the ominous creak of imminent structural failure. Seizing the opportunity, I rush Orpheloon to safety under Rose and Clove's covering fire. With a metallic clang, the gleaming bone spur slams down like a guillotine onto the spot where Orpheloon stood moments ago, nearly piercing straight through the platform. Ojo-sama, just turn your life around now. Ugh, 5 minutes is a lot of time. Go get her. Ew. Well, it's so fleshy. Nasty. In normal mode, it's fine. Eventually, I do hard. Bonk. I don't feel like being heroic right now. Something strange? Beep, beep, beep. Well, I lose contact with Alva and all the members who went to support her. I try desperately to reestablish a connection, but only static echoes in my headset.
いいえ、他の通信は正常よ。 アルベがデータストリームと言っていた。電子戦を仕掛けられたと思うわ。
Uh-oh. On the front line, Boimacina bears the full brunt of the assault alone. Eagle's body may be enormous, but her movements are far more agile than expected. Even with Boimacina's reflexes and movements pushed to her limits, she cannot fully withstand the wide-range attacks. If we can't decisively defeat Eagle here, escalating to high-yield attacks will only enrage her further. We only have 3 combat units on hand. There's no advantage to be gained. But we absolutely cannot afford to drag this out any longer. I have no idea what happened on Alva's end. I need to find out as soon as possible.
ボイマスティナ、残弾は
マガジン2つです。
Only 2?
私にはまだ素体があります。
クローザとコルフェルがここに残ってボイマスティナの援護。私はアルバたちの様子を見てくる。
待って、私も連れて行って。シルロビグからいろいろ話を聞いたことあるわ。絶対役に立ってみせる。だから
I hope there's something you can help with.
敵が残っていたら死ぬかもしれないのよ。
悲願で見たものの中にこの事態を解決するヒントがあるかもしれない。
Yeah, just maybe.
せめてその可能性にかけさせて。何もできないのはもう嫌なの。
分かった。連れて行こう。グローザ、そよ風正体をそちらの援護に。
必要ありません。
No need?
戻るまで持ちこたえます。
Boimacina's voice cuts in suddenly. Though the battle is at a deadlock, her tone remains as calm as ever, carrying unquestionable confidence. Even in the face of such dire circumstances, I find myself trusting her completely. I cannot imagine Boimacina falling.
分かった。グローザ、そよ風に撤退の準備をさせて。
了解。
オルフェルーネ、ついてきて。シルロビグを止めよう。
Let's go, Orphaloon. Come on, Jewel-sama.
皆の者、よくやったな。
This should be fine, totally fine. Hahaha. Fine indeed. Prophet 3. Just as the Blessed One has received a chance to peer into the inner workings of fate, so must she shoulder the corresponding sin of doing so. Oh, tiny Orphaloon.
今日の数学のテストまた赤点。
きっと問題が難しかったのでしょう。お気になさらないでください。
そうよね。でもお父様に何と言ったら。ねえウォルター、週末お父様は会いに来てくれるかしら。
いいえ、今週は大事なパーティーに出席される予定です。難しいです。
Daddy's too busy.
お父様に会いたいけど、歴史のテストでいい点数取ってからの方がいいわよね。怒ってるお父様は見たくない。
そうですね。
Always looking angry?
お嬢
Ooh.
様、就寝のお時間です。さあ。
Boom. Woo woo. Suddenly, a deafening alarm tears through the entire city. An emergency broadcast follows.
空襲警報を発令します。反乱軍が宣戦布告を行いました。フランクフルト上空に敵機が接近しています。お近くの
Ooh, the
防空壕に
incident?
避難してください。繰り返します。
空襲警報？学校の避難訓練と同じ音だ。あれって何時間も鳴るからうるさいのよね。
This ain't no drill. The broadcast continues. The housekeeper has no time to explain to Orphaloon. She hastily grabs a coat and drapes it over Orphaloon's shoulders, then helps her into her shoes.
お嬢様、逃げましょう。
こんな時間にどこへ行くっていうの？明日友達とクレープ食べる約束したから。
Time to witness
早
then,
く寝ないと。
and then it's time to witness
ウォルターも多分知ってるお店よ。
the finale of
今
J-Fil
フラン
1 from
クフ
a
ルトから
different
出ることが先決です。
different
最低限
perspective.
の荷物だけお持ちください。車を回してきます。
5 minutes later, Orphaloon is sitting in the back seat, her arms in a somewhat worn rabbit plush.
後でまた取りに戻れるかしら。大好きな模型とぬいぐるみを置いてきちゃったわ。お父様からもらった誕生日
Wow, limited edition merch.
シートベルトをお締めください。今は一刻を争います。
The housekeeper presses down on the accelerator. The roads out of the villa district are desolate. But once they reach the main road, traffic quickly grinds to a standstill. Horns blare all around.
おい前どうなってんだ。
どうしてこんな時にエストしてるのよ。
頼む乗せてくれんか。
ねえオルタ、あのおじいさんを乗せてあげようよ。
ダメです。何をしてくるか分かったものではありません。ほら、しっかり座っていてください。
Whoosh! Boom! The last thing Orphalun sees is a vast bloom of fire swallowing the earth. Then all sound and color vanish completely from her world. A boundless white. Not light, not snow, not a sea of clouds. It is nothingness. The girl walks forward. She searches for an exit, but there's no direction here, no space, no sense of weight.
ここはどこ？オルタ、ねえ、誰かいないの？
Orphalun begins to run, though she feels no fatigue. An inexplicable fear wells up in her heart.
もしかして私死んだの？お父様、死にたくない。まだクレープも食べられてないのに。
She reaches out, trying to grasp something. Ooh! Perhaps a god hears your plea, or perhaps some supreme existence decides to bestow mercy. When Orphalun opens her hand, she finds a seed resting in her palm. The seed takes root and sprouts, extending vines and leaves. Along those stretching tendrils, she sees a city. Green pulses through a jungle of steel, neon lights intertwine with tree branches like colored stars scattered across emerald fields. The haze before her, whether lamplight or moonlight, reflects off buildings that seem to breathe with photosynthesis, transparent conduits carrying flowing liquid, delivering nourishment to the city. Then the world unfolds before her.
お前、一緒に遊ぶ？誰？名前、まだない。ここで暮らす人間と思えばいい。ずっと一人
Friendship.
ぼっちだった。だから友達欲しい。一緒に遊ぶ？遊ぶ？それより、ここはどこなの？どう言ったらいいんだ。天国みたいな。嘘でしょ。天国は死んだ人が行く場所って聞いたわ。
The girl lets out a soft giggle. Orphalun doesn't understand what's so funny, but she straightens her back, unwilling to be looked down upon.
お父様もきっと私を待ってる。早く安心させないと。大丈夫。ここ時間止まってる。遊んでくれたら帰らせる。いい？
How nice.
じゃあクレープ屋さんに連れて行ってくれる？クレープ？知らないの？甘くて中にクリームが。
Grapes are yummy. The girl shakes her head in confusion.
せっかく真理に触れられるのに、本当にクレープでいい？
Orphalun tilts her head, thinking for a moment.
じゃあ数学のテストの点数を上げてもらえないかしら。お父様を怒らせずに済むわ。
I like that. It's like, all I want are crepes and to pass my math exam.
それがそんなに大事なら、数学は確か全ての基本。これからはもう点数に
Max and
心
math.
配しなくていい。
The girl smiles meaningfully, as if amused.
数学が分かったらいつかまたここに戻ってくる。その時はまた遊ぼう。
After some unknown length of time, unfamiliar voices surround her near ears. Don't worry, we've got you.
ミサイルが直撃したのに生き残るとは。同乗していた運転手含めあの場にいた人間は全滅した。この子だけ奇跡としか言いようがない。
ここはさっきまで綺麗な場所にいたのに。
All the doll voices were seen from GFL1.
なんだかすご ごく時間が経った気がする。ポルタ、お父様。
またオルフェルーネが1位か。ほぼ満点。容赦ないわ。
くそ、このままだと俺の推薦枠がもう何もかもめちゃくちゃだよ。
あれ、あんたオルフェルーネと仲良くなかったっけ？
誰があんなお高く泊まってるお嬢様と。もうすっかり学校の代表面してやがる。
Wow.
俺なんか引き立て役にしかならねえよ。
そうね、住んでる世界も違うし、あんなのと友達になっても惨めな思いするだけ。
何よ、友達なんか。私はただ優秀であればいい。お父様、ホプキンズ大学に飛び入学しました。
そうか。
Good
よ
job.
くやった。さすが私の娘だ。
一緒にお祝いしてくれませんか？お父様と行きたい場所がたくさんあるんです。劇場、競馬場、それに
She's so good at math, but at what cost? I mean, those people don't seem like to be good friends anyways.
子供の遊びに付き合う時間
Like, if they're that easily jealous, yeah, not worth being friends with them.
本当ですか？ありがとうございます。
そうだな。その時はいくつかのメディアを呼んで取材してもらおう。記事のタイトルはジラードグループの若き新星。私の娘が若くしてホプキンズ大学に入学できたというのだ。きっと業界で話題になる。
Thank you,
そういえ
Dad.
ば専攻分野は決まったか？
はい、志望は。
ジラードグループのメインはバイオテクノロジー。
Have you chosen what you want to do, daughter? Well, too bad. Do this instead.
卒業後はグループ傘下の実験室に入り、中心的な存在になれれば役員会での私の立場も上がる。
でも、
オルフェルーネ、失望させるな。
はい、お父様のご期待に。
Thank you, Dad.
どうして植物学なんてマイナーな分野を選んだんだい？君ほどのポテンシャルがあればどの人気の学科でも活躍できるというのに。
だって植物って面白いじゃないですか。それに私がいればもうマイナーだなんて言わせません。私の才能で植物学科を引っ張っていきます。
わかった。君自身が選んだというなら尊重しよう。有名になっても先生のことは忘れる
Don't
な
forget
よ。
your sensei.
もちろんです。
But in their defense, imagine going to the same school as a daughter of Bill Gates or Elon Musk, and she's just a generational genius who doesn't have to study. Like, whatever, she just built different. Watching her mentor depart, Orpheus murmurs softly to herself.
どうしてね、あの時見た緑に覆われた世界を放射線
No, I would be jealous if she had awesome gacha luck, like guaranteed.
理想の世界を再現するんだ。
Never losing 50-50s.
私は
Pulling the SSR within like one multi-pool kind of thing.
すべてを手に入れられる。
オルフェルーネさん、ナンバー E039894 の胚芽の中に電流が観測されました。実験は大きく進んだと言っていいでしょう。
やった、さすがお嬢様。研究テーマ
Super
は
Yojo sama.
天才のそれです。
当然、私の言う通りにすれば成功は約束されたも同然よ。大船に乗ったつもりでついてきなさい。
オルフェルーネさん、失礼します。
True, she's so rich she can just buy as many pools as she wants or needs.
シルロビグ？ああ、私の論文を読んでいつかゆっくり話したいと言ってきたあの科学者。まあいいわ、今日は気分がいいし通して。シルロビグ、さっき言った理論もう一度おさらいしてくれる？私の構想に必要な、なんだっけ、あのやり方は安全なの？ゲノム編集ね。私が使ってるのは国際的に認められたクリスパーシステムだから安全
No
面
need to
は
worry
大
about
丈夫よ。
safety.
98934からゲノムコードを切り取って私が編集したやつに置き換える。そうすれば成長時に放射線を吸収して開花と同時にエネルギーを放出する仕組みに変えられるってわけ。
Chilliwack smiles patiently like a kindergarten teacher guiding a child.
わかったわ。けれど今度は何の心配？ちんたらしてたらジラードグループの次の決算まで成果出せないよ。でもやっぱりリスクはあるんじゃないかしら。何か問題が起きたら。誰の心配してんの？お父さん？いや、大丈夫だって。何か問題が起きてもあんたの頭脳にかかれば簡単でしょ。
Yeah, with that genius brain of yours.
当然よ。大学の先生から科学に善悪はないって教わったの。だから私たちは科学者として使い方を誤らないよう見張る責任がある。これはリビウ全体の未来に関わる実験よ。もっと慎重に進めたいの。意外と頭固いんだね。変なことに縛られてたら何もできないよ。あなたにはいろいろ助けられてるし、私より博識なのも分かってる。でもこれだけは譲れない。しょうがないな。で、どうしたいの？このプロジェクトで行うゲノム編集すべては私の指定する行動を
I
使う
do
こと。
like how she wants to be cautious about
そ
everything.
してすべての設備を私の生体情報で起動するように設定すること。私の意思で実験を中止できるようにする。ダメ？わかったよ。言われた通りにすればいいんでしょ。私は実験を進めたいだけだからね。ありがとう、チルドビグ。じゃ、
Like share out of goodwill, totally.
このプロジェクトの名前を考えないとね。いつまでもプロジェクトって呼ぶわけにはいかないし。名前か。楽園計画なんてどうかしら。成功したら誰もが平穏な暮らしを得られて、私もあの場所に戻って。楽園計画、いい名前じゃん。さすがオルフェルーネ。
Project Eden really did start with good intentions, though.
人々は何の憂いもなく暮らし、あらゆるものが知恵に満ち、すべてが美しかった。
Chilliwack's voice grows softer and softer, her last words barely above a whisper.
禁断の実を取る者が現れるまでは。
Girl. I cut down the scattered elids along the way and bring Orphalune into the depths of Chilliwack's laboratory. Elven 404 members who came to support her lie collapsed before the control terminal, their eyes dim and lifeless.
アルバ、来るかい？聞こえる？
Wakey wakey!
起きて！
No one responds. Orphalune stands there helplessly, wanting to help, but it's obvious she knows nothing about doll tech.
データストリームにやられてフリーズしたか。
どうすれば。
以前ここに来たことは？
ないわ。いつももう一つの実験室だから。あっちは設備がシンプルで規模も小さかった。でもよく見たら似ていなくも。いや、レイアウト的にあの実験室をそのまま大きくしただけと言っていいわ。やっぱり全部あそこの培養ポットとつながってる。ポットから発生した生体電気がヘレナのエネルギー源になっている。これはそうよ、私が一番最初にやったあの実験じゃない。
アルバたちの情報によれば、バイオポットと設備を切り離せば実験を止められる。
Please, Ojo-sama, it's all to you now.
オルフェルーネ、何か方法はない？
Hello, hello. Orphalune doesn't answer. As if she's noticed something, she inspects the ports for a moment, then runs deeper into the laboratory. I hurry after her. The inner depths of the lab feel like a completely different space from what I saw before. Plants and vines enclose the area in deliberate patterns. Countless strange and vividly colored species I've never seen before wrap around the entire chamber, as though obeying some unseen law. At this moment, their leaves sway rhythmically like a heartbeat, as if responding to an invisible command. A massive experimental platform is crowded with instruments and culture vessels. From each device extends a tube, all leading towards some glowing object deeper within the lab. I follow the direction of the tubes with my eyes, but the lighting here is dim. and the thick coils of vines make it impossible to see what that object truly is. Dina scroll continuously across the wall mounted displays, like the readout of some monitoring apparatus. As Orphalin studies the lines of code like text, her face suddenly drains of color. Hello, hello.
そんな嘘でしょ。どうしてこんなことするの。チルロ
What do you see, Ojo-sama?
避難スペースに入りたいの。
どうしたの？
Orphalin doesn't answer. She pushes aside the massive vines and runs toward the glowing point. I feel tired because of the heat, but it's okay. I'm determined. We step into a room woven entirely from vines. At its center stands a biological containment tank. Suspended within its translucent solution floats something the size of a fist. A fist? A living brain. Ew! It releases faint blue currents of electricity, slowly as though transmitting data into the instruments connected to it. An indescribable sense of nausea overcomes me. The surface is not the gray-white of human tissue, but a sickly blue-green, as though moss grows across it. It has brain rot, literally. The moss-like growth embeds itself between the folds, parasitizing the brain in some unnatural way. The brain seems to writhe slowly in the liquid, yet when I focus on it, it appears motionless.
チルロペクのやつ、自分の脳を情報処理中枢にしたの？だからあのネイトはただの入れ物で、この脳が本体。
Ah, her true form. A brain.
道理で殺せないわけだ。今までのネイトはどんなに強くても不死身ではなかったからね。
ネイト。
Hopefully
ええ。
the rain there doesn't cause any
チルロペク
outages.
と似たような存在で複数いる。
I know there's supposed to be a storm coming here soon.
彼女と同じ人間はこの世にたくさんいる。自分の魂を売り渡してまで不老不死を追い求める哀れな存在よ。でもこの脳を破壊
I had a
すれば
doctor's appointment earlier today. I was thinking of napping afterwards, but no, instead I ate pancakes. I draw my pistol and aim at the tank. So many bang. I empty the entire magazine into the glass container. The tank doesn't shatter. It doesn't even crack.
この
ホットが光ってる。
Ooh, it hasn't so far, though the light bulb in your bathroom went out earlier. Oh! A violent agony strikes as if piercing my soul. The brilliant light radiating from the brain seems to burn through my skin. The glare blinds me. I try to lift my hand, but my body no longer obeys.
大丈夫。
構わないで。
Oop! Seeing my pain, Orphalin grabs my other arm tightly.
あなたにできることはない。逃げて。
あなたには命を救われた。借りを作ったままは嫌なの。
Thank you for the assist, Ojo-sama.
必ず助ける。
With great difficulty, Orphalin steps in front of me. The light inflicts the same unbearable pain upon her. Step by step, she walks into the radiance. Behind her, my pain lessens slightly, but a voice seems to echo in my ears. You must not come this way. You still have things you must accomplish. Breathing becomes harder, my vision blurs. Something contracts steadily, dragging my consciousness somewhere unknown. In my final awareness, I see Orphalin swallowed entirely by the light, vanishing into the void. The pain fades, and so does my consciousness. Rip. Ooh, that's so exciting though, 10 a.m. Hopefully work goes by well. And that they haven't added that one tracker back, because ew. Which 3, the journey of life does not come with return tickets.
脳って不思議だよね。刺激すれば
I just remembered there's
どんどん
popsicles in the
耐性
freezer.
が上がっていく。
After this, I should have one.
そして最
A
後
popsicle sounds good.
どんな刺激を与えても反応しなくなっちゃう。今の私のように。
Chillovig rolls up her sleeves, showing her arms covered in scars.
だからウィリアム先生、私は死を体験してみたいの。死の直前の神経細胞の震え、エンドルフィンによる麻酔と鎮静、そして脳死。その過程における体の様々な変化。
Okay, Chillovig, if that's what you want to experience, I guess.
叶えてくれる？
Chillovig sits up from the operating table. She spreads her fingers, examines her palms, and then the backs of her hands.
な もっと面白い変化があると思ったのに。
From the shadows, the other person coldly opens or hands her pistol.
試してみるといい。
If you do end up staying up, you need to nap right after the game. Make sure you wait for Nashville's yes. That's a good amount of time between games. Enough time to rest. And William's the overarching villain of the entire series. Ah, he made Chilibeg into a Naito.
ウィリアム先生、本当に手術してくれたよね。私を騙していないよね。
どうした？怖いのか？
そんなまさか。先生の名前と今までしてきた数々の実験はとっくに耳にしているよ。私はただありのままの感覚を記録できるかどうかを心配しているだけ。
Man, speaking of GMM, I want the stuff that they were using for that one video for trying to, like, testing things to make them feel cool. I need those stuff for work. After a moment of hesitation, Chilibeg's face lights with excitement. She takes the pistol. She lowers around into the chamber and presses the barrel to her head.
なんて素晴らしい。私はこの儀式で
How
この未知の世
exquisite!
界に行く。帰ってきた者のいない死の世界に私だけが戻ってくる資格を得た。この一瞬の感覚をちゃんと記録しなくちゃ。誰も触れたことのない領域なんだから。そして近い将来、私は新しい科学を
I do wonder what my boss would say if I had like that one forehead patch for cooling. I wonder if people would be like, "Are you okay? What is on your face?" Like, I'm just using this because it's too hot here. Chilibeg kicks her chair lightly and turns to face the doctor.
彼岸スペース？何それ？
生と死が集まる場所だよ。そこには君が興味を持つものがたくさんある。君は本物の天才だ。だからきっとあの場所にたどり着くことができる。
おやん、私のことをよく知ってるみたいだね。で、
Dang, they did add the tracker back. I mean, if they haven't said anything, then you don't need to turn it on.
自分で行けば。
私には私の考えがある。嫌なら他を当たる。
やだな、そんなに怒らないでよ。ちょっと気になっただけじゃん。
手に負えないことに好奇心を向けるな。身を滅ぼすことになるぞ。
はいはい。で、どうやって行けばいいの？
鍵は私が見つけ出す。だがそこへ行く道は君自身で探さなければならない。そのためにも君には会ってきてほしいものがいる。
誰？
かつて
I'll say it's mandatory that everyone has installed by the 20th. Yeah, they said that only the installation's mandatory. Gotta be more specific.
10年も費やしてきた。あー、なんて素晴らしい。脳を洗われている感じがする。
Chilibeg opens her eyes. The world around her suddenly distorts, twists, and loses its original shape. Then, it recombines into an entirely new and strange landscape. Her senses blank out like a television without signal. After some time, new perceptions awaken. She can see the sound of springs, hear the color of the world, and reach out to touch thoughts she had never imagined.
これが彼岸スペース。
Chilibeg's tripping.
いい。実にいい。ここまでの体験だけでも論文を5本書けるよ。
Chilibeg walks forward. A great gate finally appears before her, blocking her path.
ここはあくまでも入り口ってこと？中はどうなってるんだろう。楽しみ。
She reaches out.
あなたに入る資格はないわ。
Oop, denied. Chilibeg turns. A girl in a long dress stands there, her gaze cold and hollow.
あんて、あなたにそれを知る必要はない。ここから離れなさい。は？
Chilibeg, you're not invited here. Chilibeg fails to realize what stands before her. She suddenly steps forward, closer and closer to the gate. But the distance does not shorten in the slightest.
どういうこと？早く私を中に入れてよ。
Denied.
面白いものがたくさん ずっと待ってたんだよ。私は本
Oh,
物
we
の
don't see it, but to those who play GFL1, that voice sounds familiar.
天才の世間知らずと違って、この中にある生と死の真理を少しでも覗くことができたら、きっと世界を変えられる。何を笑ってるの？知識とは呪い、才能とは呪い。あなたはそれすら分かっている。
Oh, same voice as M4A1 and Lunasia.
オルフェルーネにすら劣っている。なんだって？冗談じゃない。私はあの子をいいように利用してやっとここまでたどり着いたというのに、やっと願いを叶えられるというのに、あのバカより踊っているわけが。そうね。あなたは自分の運命を覗こうと思った瞬間、
He lost the right.
その扉を潜る資格を失った。
Sucks to suck,
あなた
Chilaveg.
のしてきたことは全て無意味。資格を失った？どういう意味？私はすでに永遠の命を手に入れた。この世界の誰にもできないことを成し遂げたなら当然、誰よりも彼岸スペースに入る資格を持っている。ねえ、答えてよ。
It is funny though, after becoming immortal, you get, or she got to look extra sleepy, or sleep deprived.
自分のことを見られない哀れな存在。
Is that what happens when you become a Naito? You get bags in your eyes? No sleepy, no sleeping. The voice and the gate before Chilaveg vanish. She searches frantically, futilely, and eventually collapses to the ground.
そんなわけ。私のやってきたことが全部無意味だなんてバカな。
Chilaveg remains seated there. After minutes, or maybe 10 years, she finally gets to her feet. Maybe 10 years.
まだ終わってない。今回はたまたま失敗しただけ。私には永遠の命がある。時間なんていくらでも。まだチャンスはある。そうだよ。この程度の失敗を気にする必要なんてない。天才でも
Instead of being sleep deprived, it could be makeup. Chilaveg laughs softly and turns around. But at some point, another figure is already standing behind her.
なんであんたが
Boo!
どうやってここに？ここは私が見つけたんだ。あんたみたいなバカが来ていい場所じゃない。
Too bad.
見える。なんでまたあんただけ？なるほど。そういうことだったのね。あなたは私から遺跡の知識を盗んでこの道を開いた。だから当然私にも入る資格がある。くだらない願いを叶えるために無数の命を奪った罪を私にかぶせた。唯一私を止めようとした人も殺そうとしている。
Orpheline looks at her quietly. She steps forward, forcing Chilaveg back step by step.
だから私は全てを取り返す。
Ooh. Sneeze once. He sneezed. Hunter 3. The hunter's eyes are as keen as a wolf's. Go get her. Beneath Lviv, Chilaveg's laboratory has already been reduced to ruins. In the fierce battle between Igla and Voimastina, Igla's wings stir up vortices. Like raging storms with every flap, Voimastina weaves between them, like a ship sailing against wind and waves. She has little ammunition left, so every shot must strike the greatest threat before her. She refuses to waste a single bullet unless absolutely necessary. At Groza's warning, Voimastina leaps upward and grabs onto Igla's raised wing. Perhaps because she still lacks precise control over her body, or this body, the mutated Thurgeon doll's massive hand sweeps through the spot where Voimastina had been, grasping nothing but air. But Igla clearly senses something clinging to the edge where bone and flesh meet on her wing. With a casual shake, she flings Voimastina straight into the glass wall behind her. Ouch! Crash! The reinforced glass shatters under impact of Voimastina's heavy frame, Her body and the shards fly backward together, tumbling across the laboratory floor until she slams into the wall behind, leaving a massive crater before finally stopping. Igla then lowers herself toward the shattered glass wall, searching through it for Vomasina.
わざとやったんです。このままだと追います皆さんが。
A gigantic hand thrusts into the laboratory room. Though the lighting inside is dim and Vomasina's exact position cannot be seen, it is obvious that Igla has grown thoroughly irritated by the doll buzzing around her like a relentless bee. She intends to trap Vomasina inside the lab and eliminate her in one decisive move. Though the cramped space prevents the tendrils on her body from functioning properly, it's like sealing a bee inside a jar. After that, she only needs to capture it at her leisure. To avoid detection, Vomasina presses herself against the wall, lightening her steps as much as possible. She dodges a massive hand sweeping and grasping for prey, making her way toward the laboratory doors. The doors have no handles. The two automatic sliding panels are sealed tightly shut. Vomasina tries to pry open a gap with her fingers, but the seam offers no leverage to force them apart. Poe vaults up 3 levels in quick succession, reaching the area outside Vomasina's room. After inspecting the door, she discovers a biometric device mounted above it.
隊長、生体認証ロックがあります。クラッキングしてみますか。
Rose's vigil module locks into Vomasina's location. The massive hand has already forced her into a corner, leaving her almost no room to maneuver. Vomasina could fall into Igla's grasp at any second.
間に合わないわ。力ずくでこじ開ける。はい。追います皆さん。ドア右 1.5 メートルの場所に。
I love brute force.
爆は30秒後。持ちこたえられますか。
問題ない。
The lights along the suspended gangway flicker erratically. Even as she speaks, Cove pulls explosives from her pack and starts rigging them. In the shadows beyond the wall, Vomasina moves with agility that defies her imposing build, slipping across once more, narrowly avoiding the searching fingers. 20 seconds. 10. 7, 6, 5, 4. Just before the explosion, a faint sound comes from beneath Vomasina's foot. Annoyingly, she has been driven back into the very crater she created earlier. A loose chunk of brick rolls underfoot, and in her cautious retreat, she steps on it. Igla's hand suddenly stops searching. Oop. Boom! Crash. The scene erupts into chaos in an instant, Vomasina's gunfire, the explosions of the charge, and the thunderous sweep of Igla's hand across the lab floor resound simultaneously, turning the once silent underground facility into a boiling maelstrom. Right before Igla's fingers make contact with Vomasina's brain, the latter's assault rifle spins a burst of fire. Surprisingly enough, the bullets knock Igla's massive fingers away. Blood splatters across the walls, staining the white surfaces a horrific crimson. Awoo! A wail of pain echoes from Igla's throat. Maddened by the injury, she thrashes wildly, tearing through the lab's corners as blood smears across the ground in long, dragging streaks. Ew! Vomasina seizes the moment and slips through the breach blasted open by Cove.
正気を失ったように。コルフェ、ボイマスよ。正面戦闘になるかもしれないわ。
問題ない。増援がそろそろつく。
でもそよ風正体がまだ。
Before Vomasina can explain, Cove's urgent shout rings out from the distance.
隊長、大変です。
Bad news?
大量の一ミクロがこっちに。
Ah, that's the bad news.
離脱するわ。
Okay. Well. Amber. Commander, changes in the combat situation require the dispatch of specific dolls for certain battles. Wait, what? The designated doll has already been deployed, but you can substitute her if you already have obtained her. Okay. Story preset dolls. Certain battles require a specific doll to be deployed, but commanders who have already acquired those dolls can swap out the default ones for their own versions. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'll use the mandatory ones, why not? Like, I don't need to use my own. Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. Extremely fine, actually. Let us go. Boom. Stinky little ambers. Get out of here. Ew. Oh no, my fans started to make little squeaks again. This is quiet squeaks this time. I hate when it gets loud. Sometimes percussive means when it works, I just gotta hit it a few times. Otherwise, I turn it off and hope for the best. Ooh, new glasses. Hopefully it comes in early. And that's exciting. That reminds me, I gotta get new glasses eventually. It's been a couple years. I want to get new frames mainly. Okay, 2 escapes so far. At least 3. Actually, no, that was enough. Oops. Under Gross's covering fire, Cope and Vermestina break through the encirclement. The 3 regroup atop the platform. Even though Vermestina's ammunition is exhausted, she remains unstoppable with melee weapons and hand-to-hand combat. But the frenzied Igla is not something the 3 of them can handle lightly. Having lost 2 fingers to Vermestina's gunfire, Igla roars as she destroys everything around her. Brick and debris raining down in showers. Ouch. Dang though. At least the super glue like semi works, but ugh. Yeah, it's not fun at all. Like, not the unevenness. With a thunderous crash, one of the columns supporting the platform is severed by Igla's vine-like tendrils. The 3 sprint at full speed, where Messina leaps first, with Groza right behind her, but Kolf, limited by her smaller frame, is just a fraction too slow. Oops! Kolf's fingers scrape across the platform's edge, and she plunges dozens of meters downward. Beneath her, a massive Elids claw upward, while vine-like tendrils carpet the ground. The struggle of being short! Messina, who's already reached the opposite platform safely, stops short and spins around, sprinting back toward the edge. She swiftly evades the tendrils lashing toward her, then leaps towards something flying through the air. That makes me wonder, how tall is Kof? Cause that sucks, just barely too short to get it across. Collapsing epiphyllum, she blooms for a moment and then sinks into eternal slumber. Ooh! Man, Webastina's so cool. So I'm too used to seeing her in the skin that I currently put her in. Webastina's communicator crackles with the voice of a familiar man. Hi, Kevin. Dang. A new special classified briefing day. Webastina secures a powered armor around herself. Engaging the thrusters mounted on it, she dives rapidly downward and catches Cove by the arm. With a light fling, she hurls Cove back onto the platform. Then with effortless sweeps, she drives back the surging Elids and clears the obstacles before her. At the same time, Gross's communicator finally receives a response.
私たちはどうすればいい？
When Messina activates the scanner on her powered armor, it synchronizes perfectly with the Wolf-Eye system within her frame, pushing it to maximum output. This is the invention of Samantha Shaw, the creator of Task Force Defy. Through the Wolf-Eye system, Messina clearly sees every vein and blood vessel coursing through Igla's massive body of flesh. She sees bodily fluids flowing quietly within, and beneath the enormous outer shell, she sees a true form hidden inside.
奴の本体は中にある。私はその本体を引きずり出し殺す。お前たちには奴の目を潰してもらいたい。できるか？
もちろん。コルフェ、それからそよ風もみんな、イグラの資格を潰してボイマスティナの接近を援護するわよ。
Kevin's one of her friends. Codename J, though. Interesting. Where did J come from? Ew. Look at those tentacles. Eagle, you're so fleshy. Well, wait. Oh, I can deploy one. That's nice. I like that. And on my own. It's fine. Oh, his mentor was Cave. Ah. Most likely reference to Men in Black. And this should be fine. Ew. Iglo, you look terrified.
規定ルート A に戻す機行動開始。
了解。
開演でございます。あんたの行く手を阻むやつは全部ぶっ倒す。
Thank you, Faye. You think she looks prettier and more graceful than ever? So elegant. Are these collapse crystals? I can't believe they're actually collapse crystals in the white zone. They're here too. Will the commander be alright? I'll think of a way to destroy them. Just bonk them. Look at her, roar! All units, be advised. Large amount of collapse crystals have been appeared nearby, and it's very likely they'll have a negative influence on the region. The thing's on the move too. Be careful, everyone. Oh man, imagine if we could only summon Eagle in this form, not her other form. Or nah. A regular doll frame would be a nice skin, totally, for this. So I do like the elegant suit. I like some elegance. Good job. Yay. That should be enough HP. She's just wiggling menacingly in the distance. What you gonna do now, Igla? Ew.
私の使命。
It's a tactical explanation for dolls. This swimsuit in the middle of a firefight.
ハンデをあげる。
Well, as an enemy, wouldn't you be distracted by seeing that? Or a wedding dress or any of the other skin? Like, eh? Caught off guard. No damage. Whatever. At least it's something. Ah yes, they were at the beach before getting deployed and didn't have time to get changed. Oh man.
さっさと倒れた。
横たわる楽器。立てれば平気。こう
Not just gonna survive. Aim for surviving.
こうさ今のうちよ。
Ooh, in Metal Gear Solid 2 Flocka, you can get geared up in your the guys in swimsuits or swim trunks to give boosty mobility. Ooh.
みんなのために。
You can't carry much ammo. I think it's worth it. Like being able to change out default outfits is always gonna be fun. Like inside a Digimon Time Stranger. I merely kept my characters inside of their swimsuits. It's just so funny. Thank you for Messina. Ooh. Got her. Oh, she cracked open. Good morning, Igla. Igla's true body is dragged out of the monstrous shell by Wemesina and flung to the ground. The blood-soaked frame of the third-gen doll crashes violently onto the already ruined floor, setting up clouds of crimson dust mingled with debris. Igla's mind seems to be clear with the brutal impact. Because the maintenance.
15.
She struggles to rise as if determined to fight Wemesina one last time.
お前の負けだ。
いや、まだ私は。
Bang. A bullet from nowhere pierces straight through Igla's core, and she falls backward. Her scattered hair drifts like thin morning mist, dissolving into the dawn over Lviv.
各員警戒態勢。
As everyone scans their surroundings warily, a drone of unknown affiliation suddenly approaches. The dolls raise their weapons in unison, aiming at the incoming machine. After a tense standoff, it does not open fire. Instead, it hovers in midair and extends the grappling claw beneath its fuselage. The claw hooks into Igla's frame, then it descends rapidly, vanishing from sight. Oh, okay.
追いますか。
But I wanted Igla.
先に指揮官を助けましょう。
Whatever. Find her, take her away.
守る約束、嘘じゃなか
I
った
see how it is. Humph. Actually, wait, I'm gonna go here on the side. Beyond the stage 3, another story is playing out beyond the stage. Now that that's unlocked. Hehehe. It's been some time since the commander entered the Gerard Group building. Monsoon had agreed to check in regularly with Groza Squad in 404. However, in the previous transmission, Klukai had mentioned that they would be going deeper underground with the commander. That meant a very high chance of losing contact with the surface. As such, she had asked Monsoon to be ready for any emergencies which might come up. Sure enough, several minutes after the transmission, both team signals had started growing weaker, until they vanished entirely. What do we do now, big sis? We haven't heard back from the commander or the others yet, but we also need to be ready to evacuate at any time. Xiaohui, what's the status of the helicopter? Since Arasi has touched down on the nearest satellite city, helipad to the white zone, the stealth camouflage has been applied. It's ready to go anytime. Well done, Jiangyu. How about on your side of things? The engine is running. Once we pick up the commander, I'll get us to the airport at top speed. Understood. Looks like all we can do now is wait for Miss Groza and the others to contact us. But if we can't pinpoint their locations, we can't drop a more concrete evacuation plan. Humph. I say we dig up the entire area and drag up the commander and the others. You'd be surprised. I'm pretty good at this kind of manual labor, pulling people out of underground mine shafts and all that. Lviv is being evacuated en masse. If we damage the surface, it might affect the withdrawal of civilians. While ensuring the commander's safety is a top priority or high priority, we shouldn't be too aggressive when we don't have a clear picture of the situation. We're in a white zone after all. Causing too much of a disturbance will end up inconveniencing the commander. Fine. In any case, I'll just have to find them the old-fashioned way. Monsoon's squad continues discussing their plans for a while longer. After they are sure that there's no other option than to wait for the commander to contact them, they decide to go searching for a signal. Just then, Faye, who is both highly experienced and perceptive, notices that something is off. Wait a minute. This feeling, could it be... What's wrong? Earthquake! Everyone get down! As his face says that, a loud rumbling echoes up and down an hitherto peaceful street, and the ground beneath their feet shakes violently. Ooh, getting Borg are nice. The crowds in the street are knocked to their feet by the sudden tremor, and the entire area is instantly plunged into chaos. However, no fissures open up and no buildings collapse, contrary to Faye's expectations. As she emerges from the dust clouds thrown up by the quake, she realizes that the plants around them are suddenly growing at a frenzied speeds. Countless cracks of varying sizes open up in the ground, and plants burst forth in a verdant tide. Amidst tangles of thick vines, smaller branches squeeze out and form buds that open up into translucent, gem-like flowers. Said flowers are lovely and flawless, but they fill everyone who looks upon them with terror. They're the radioactive! Big sis, I'm picking up a massive spike in ambient radiation levels. Something big is about to happen. I know these plants. They emit radiation depending on their surroundings. I saw them once during a rescue operation. The people we tried to rescue ended up... Damn it! What the hell are things like these doing in the White Zone? Is this the real aim of that so-called Project Eden? Upon seeing the bizarre sights before them, the evacuating crowds begin fleeing madly in all directions. Then, as though the situation wasn't chaotic enough, even more fissures open up on the ground and several massive shapes emerge through them. Those are Elids. What are they doing here? I've got some on my side too. What should we do? Should we engage? Yeah, we don't have a choice. Everyone, Monsoon Squad will now enter combat. Our objective, eliminate all Elids. Help the civilians evacuate while ensuring our withdrawal route is clear. We need to make sure that we can all leave ASAP once the commander and the others come back. Thank you, Monsoon Squad. Oh, we have a sentry on our side, that's nice. I like that. Boom. After clearing the threats from the surrounding area, Diane and Faye struggle to their feet. Jiangyu, how are things on your side? Okay, I guess. A bunch of Elids were trying to attack the fleeing people, so I ran the Elids over with the jeep. Well done. However, you should be more careful on missions. Don't worry, big sis. I can take care of myself. The immediate crisis has been resolved. However, they still need to contact the commander, who is deep underground, and tell her just how serious things have become. If Lviv had been embroiled in a crisis of this magnitude, they need to get her out ASAP, no matter what's going on down there. Because this once flourishing city may become an Elid-infested hellhole very soon. In the distance, they can hear army units heading toward the city center. Diane directs Monsoon Squad to take cover and conceal themselves to the best of their ability. While Monsoon Squad is technically authorized to bear arms, it's best to avoid unnecessary complications before re-establishing communications with the commander. Just as they're about to try and contact the commander again, there's a massive explosion. It comes from far away and behind them. As one, Diane and Faye turn to look at it. What they see through their visual module shocks them to the point where they can't tear their eyes away. Look! Over there! A column of light is shining up from the surface. Immediately after that, all of Lviv is engulfed by the blinding radiance. Like a keen blade, it slices through the horizon where dawn and dusk meet. Golden light blooms into a giant flower in the sky. It looks as though the light from before has cut through the heavens themselves. The result resembles an invertebrate whose shell has been cracked open to reveal sinister, gory innards within. Ew! The dolls have never seen anything like this before, but for some reason it seems strangely familiar. Then they hear the same rhythmic whispers in the neural clouds. The fleeing people all stop in their tracks. They look to the sky, their eyes reflecting the distorted scene on the horizon. Right after that, screams fill the air, making the already disorganized evacuation even more chaotic. The people who see it scatter and flee in all directions. It seems that creepy sight has triggered a fear from the most primal depths of their hearts. Faye's the first to come to her senses. She looks at the place where the beam came from, the light seeming to be hiding something. Faye, can you use your scanner function to collect more information on it? It's too far away, but I can try. Faye activates her scanner module and moves the aim point to the center of the light column. However, the results it yields shock her. There are vital signs in there. Vital signs? A bad feeling creeps into Diane's neural cloud, and she reflexively grabs Faye's shoulder. Moving closer! The hole torn in the sky grows larger and larger, and the beam of light grows every brighter. The sky around it starts turning a brilliant red, like blood spurting from a body of some living creature. Faye looks at the light. As she focuses her vision, she finally manages to make out the shape of the creature surrounded by the radiance. It's alive! Hearing this news fills everyone with shock. In the end, Diane gathers her thoughts and makes her final decision. Since there are signs of life over there, it's very likely the commander might be there too. Jahui, tell Sentai Racy to keep the helicopter's engines running and ready for liftoff. Will do. Jiangyu, bring the vehicle over and follow us to the beam of light. Got it, big sis. We're going to bring Helena and the commander back. How terrifying! Confirm. And then next. Beyond the Sky 4, another story is playing out beyond the stage. Let's see how this goes. Those damn Elids. Is there no end to them? Damn it, damn it, damn it! Out of my way! It's just in front of us! Diane and Faye try to move against the flow of civilians who are fleeing the city. With great effort, they manage to clear a path through the Elid-infested streets. However, the Elid density grows the further ahead they move. Soon they realize that these Elids are coming from the direction of the orb of light surrounding Helena. The Elids are coming from there. Looks like things are worse than we thought. Liv is supposed to be a white zone. How could it end up like this? Is everyone in the URNC a bunch of incompetent dorks? Jiangyu, have you reached the target location yet? I'm here. Can you see what's going on over there? There are tons of plants growing out from the big fissure in the ground. The Elids are coming out of it. From underground? Ah, they're being birthed from the ground, Jaina, I see. Yeah. I can't believe there's something like this, like that under Lviv. I bet even Nomfa would be shocked by this. Oh yes. How about Helena? Is there a way to approach her? Nope. I did a scan just now, and that ball of light around her contains incredible amounts of power. There's no telling what would happen if we approached it thoughtlessly. Plus, it's so high off the ground that you need a chopper to get close. A helicopter, you say? Xiaohui, can Sensei Racy help us out here? Flying into a white zone runs the risk of being intercepted. Diane, it's your call. There's no point being too cautious at a time like this. Lviv is in chaos right now, and a lot of big shots are all scrambling to evacuate. I'm pretty certain the military won't have the time to bother with a single civilian helicopter amidst the madness. Got it. I'll try to contact Miss Dandelion and have her disguise her signal as an ordinary civilian one. But... wait, that sound is... What happened? It's coming from the nearby military air bases. Several military helicopters have just taken off. Looks like they're headed toward Lviv. You love Diane's train of thought. Some Lovecraftian horror is rampaging the city. So we'll definitely find the commander, yes. I think the commander is always at the craziness. Of course he's gonna be there. Military helicopters? Is the military going to deploy them against the Elids? No, I highly doubt that. If it was just dealing with the Elids, a few spec up units would be enough. I don't know what's going on, what happened next, but we best be ready for it. Attention, all members of Monsoon Squad. Immediately after the highest level of combat readiness. Apart from Xiaohui, who needs to fly the helicopter into the White Zone, all other members will follow the plan to keep our axis of retreat clear. Fei and I will take a shortcut to approach the fissure. Jiang Yu, find a way to bring the jeep around on the roads. The closer you can get, the better. We got Burger now? Nice. Got it. This mission will be a difficult one, but I'm counting on everyone to do their part. You got it. I'll cut a path through those Elids for the commander. You got this, Fei. Giant Lovecraftian horror? The commander must be laying low and trying a stealthy approach this time. So nonchalant. I'm debating what I want for food. At this point, I should probably order on DoorDash soon. But I'll think about it for now. Decisions. What to eat? Fast food, something different. Worst case is always protein shake, protein bars, but nah, I kinda want something else. I want something spicy. Spice sounds good. Bonk. Just one more enemy left. Go get him. Ta-da! Big sis! Jiang Yu, is the withdrawal route secure? Yep, there are a few enemies, but I got rid of them. The roads are really torn up though, so I stopped the jeep some distance away. Well done. Diane pats Jiang Yu's head in approval. After that, the three of them carefully approached the fissure created by the thick vine and looked down the length of the massive creeper. Big sis, do you think we can contact the commander from here? I'll give it a try. Once again, Diane tries to catch Groza's squad in 404, but the only reply she gets from the terminal is the crackling of electrical static. Looks the comm signals have been disrupted. Is it because of the high particle density in this place? Yeah, radiation intensity here is off the charts. Looks like the source of this disaster is coming from below the fissure. The Lviv city map says that this area is the property of the Gerard Group. It seems they built their R&D labs here. It doesn't look like a lab so much as an experimental mine. They built a lab of this size right underneath the live. They've got a lot of balls, I'll give them that. I say we go in there and wreck all their equipment. Then we'll definitely be able to save the commander and Helena. Don't be impulsive. Jiahui, what's your situation? I'm in white zone airspace, but I can't approach any closer. What happened? Those helicopters I mentioned earlier, they're all headed toward Helena's position. Please don't hurt my daughter. Before Diane can react, Jiangyu exclaims and interrupts her train of thought. Hey sis, look! The vines, they're withering! The radiation intensity seems to be dropping too. The three of them exchange glances and look at the sky. As sun rises, the bloody gash in the sky seems to be slowly healing up, and the beam of light coming from Helena's chest is gradually dimming. What appears to be some kind of grand sacrificial ritual has finally reached its end. Just then, a reply comes from Monsoon Squad's communicators, at long last. Miss Groza, finally! Yay! I do love how it's like, in the meantime, this is what happened. All the chaos. And now for the princess's dream. It feels like a dream, yet also incomparably real. And last big fight too. Her eyes snap open. It feels as though she's just awakened from a long and terrible dream. In that dream, someone tries to lock her away and subject her to some kind of experiment she cannot understand. The laboratory in the dream is deep and cold. A woman named Chilovek stands there, laughing madly. But she forces herself awake. As long as she wakes up, the dreadful dream will not become reality.
Sensei. Sensei? またお出かけ? 先生がいないと一人じゃつまらない.
She stares blankly at the complicated writing on the whiteboard. Teachers already told her that this is knowledge, part of the structure of the world itself. Teacher says that once she masters this knowledge, she will truly be able to leave this place. Oh, this is a location featured prominently in Reverse Collapse. But now, she just can't bring herself to care. She searches every room, but teacher is nowhere to be found. Although she has been told not to wander off, curiosity gets the better of her. She wants to go outside and look. Without realizing it, she walks out the manor and arrives somewhere unfamiliar. She reaches out and touches the green field before her. To her surprise, as her hand moves, the surrounding plants begin to sway as if commanded. Vines become musical staves, and green leaves turn to dancing notes upon them. She waves her fingers and savors a long-lost sense of freedom. Like a fairy, she darts through the green expanse. There's no wind here, no light, no sound. She runs for a very, very long time, yet never feels tired. Only when her vision blurs into a vast white emptiness does she realize that she has reached the edge of this place. To her surprise, a small girl stands there looking lost. She has never seen anyone here besides teacher, but she possesses knowledge. She immediately comes to the realization that this little girl must be human, just like teacher. So she tries to speak. Oh! ここで暮らす人間と思えばいい。ずっと一人ぼっちだった。だから友達欲しい。一緒に遊ぶ？つまり、この世界にはクレープすらないの？うん。でも、先生の本で見たことある。見たことあるだけなんて、かわいそう。 Ooh, all kinds of flavors, eh? What the girl just said seems to have suddenly reminded her of something. She leaps to her feet. No play date. Her expression suddenly turns serious. Startling little Orpheloon.
私がここを出たらお前帰れない。あの夢みたいにお前の死を本当のことにしちゃいけない。
Orpheloon tilts her head, not quite understanding. But it no longer matters. In the next instant, the world before Orpheloon begins to collapse, dissolving into blurred patches of color, until all that remains is a bottomless abyss.
もう会わない方がいい。
My dear friend.
私の
And oops, let me talk about dinner real quick. Okay, looks like I'm getting Thai food tonight. Which means I might get some spice. I want spice. I hope there's some spice for me. And if not, maybe tomorrow.
オルフェルーネ。もうまた夢。
Helena cannot tell what is real and what is a dream. Just now, she remembers playing somewhere with a little girl for a very long time. She taught the girl many things and was invited to eat something called crepes. Was it really just a dream? Or did it actually happen? Helena does not know. But now is not the time to dwell on it. She is lost. She has to return to the commander as quickly as possible. Helena gets to her feet and runs on and on without stopping. Here, she does not seem to grow tired. Even after running for a long time, she sees no one.
みんなどこ？
Just as confusion begins to set in, Helena is startled to hear voices in the distance.
だから私は全てを取り返す。ありえない。彼岸スペースはもう開いた。どんなに頑張ったってリビウは元に戻らない。死んだ奴らも生き返らない。
Whatever, Chilveg. Orpheloon does not answer. Her face draws closer until Chilveg can see her own reflection in Orpheloon's pupils. Chilveg instinctively tries to flee, but no matter which direction she runs, she always returns to Orpheloon.
無駄よ。この場所は私のルールで動く。あなたは
You're just an intruder. This is my rules. I'm the chosen one, not you, Chilveg.
全部終わらせて世界を元に戻す。
The power of being an Ojo-sama.
パラドックス、永遠の命も含めて。永遠の命。ヘレナ、聞いたことある。
Okay, BRB, I gotta check something real quick. Gotta make sure the windows are closed. The message. Okay, all good. 2. At least the current storm that's coming this weekend shouldn't be as bad as last weekend's one. AKA, there shouldn't be a power outage. Ahahaha. Yeah, hopefully not. And if there is, if anything, it'd be at nighttime. But yeah, no fear, no pain. Orphan and Chilvig turn at the same time toward the little girl who seems to have appeared from nowhere. It's you!
カビダ実験の実験体ヘレナコード O43 ありえないあんたはもう鍵として消費されたはずここに現れるわけがない相変わらず怖い
Helena instinctively hides behind an Orpheloon. But when she looks up, she seems to have noticed something.
お前大人になった
Friend?
なるほどあの時私が生き残れたのはあなたがいたからごめんなさいあなたにひどいことをしてしまって何のことかわからないけど大丈夫それにヘレナもなんか楽しかった
Orpheloon turns to Chilvig.
私がいるからあの子はここに残ったあの子がいるから私はここに来たシルロビグあなただけが余計な存在
You weren't invited to your play date.
あなた
Chilvig, get out of here.
代価を支払わずに死を体験しようとした今のあなたが得たのは偽りの死と不完全な永遠の命誰があんたにそんなことを言ったはずよあなたは私の知識を盗んだだからあなたは私の前で全てをさらけ出したも同然今のあなたは私が自分の手で編集したゲノムコードみたいなもの発現した性質を見ただけでコードの詳細がはっきりと目に浮かぶこの感覚わかるでしょ
Orpheloon smiles at her. Chilvig knows that she's referring to her creation of O43. But she no longer has any desire to speak. Because no matter what she says, it is meaningless before Orpheloon. All she can do now is tremble and await her judgment. But Orpheloon does not address her again. She turns to Helena and smiles.
待たせちゃってごめんね今度は私があなたを送る番
Aw, how nice.
一緒に来てよ一緒にクレープを食べよう
Yes, go eat crepes together.
分かっているでしょ10年前私は見てはいけないものを見てしまったそもそもここから出るべきではなかったのでもあなたのおかげで私は祝福を受けて運よく戻ることができたあの時の私の罪はあなたが背負ってくれただから償いに来たのわからないよ大丈夫今のあなたはただあなたの声が聞こえる自分の重要さに気づいていないだけ全てが一つに戻った時きっとわかるように
Ojo-sama, please come back with her.
その時はあの人を守ってそれが未来を紡ぎ続ける唯一の方法
A door appears behind Helena.
一緒に行かない私は本当の未来を見てしまっただからもう
But
戻ることは
why?
できないのさあ行って指揮官が待ってるわよ私全部指揮官に教えるお前のことみんな忘れないから
Orpheloon smiles and nods. But she knows that once Helena steps through the door, she'll forget everything that has happened here. Because this is not the real world. But that is fine. As someone who has committed such a grave sin, she does not deserve to be remembered. After watching Helena leave, Orpheloon turns to Chilvig. She takes her trembling hand.
何すんの怖がらないで永遠の命でも死でも この悲願と現実の狭間でなら叶えられる。あなたも祝福を受けたかったんじゃないの？ここに残る子羊は一人だけで十分。ただ何？代価が必要よ。これは祝福を受けた者が誰しも通る道だから。さあ来て。
Oh? Oh, she's terrified. Orphelin grips Chilovic's hand. Chilovic struggles desperately, but it is all in vain. Hand in hand, Orphelin leads her toward the edge of nothingness, then steps forward and falls straight down. Everything slowly fades away until only emptiness remains. Well, good morning, Helena. I finally regained consciousness.
ヘレナ、どうしてここに？ここに来る途中、ここを覆っていたツタが消えていったから、そのまま装置を破壊してヘレナを助け出したわ。
I lower my head and see that the tank containing Chilovic's brain has lost its connection to the plants. It has fallen to the ground and shattered. The brain is slowly necrotizing and turning black after being exposed to the air. Ew. Beside me, Voimastina, encased in a mobile armor, easily lifts me and sets me on the armor's shoulder. Ooh, uppies. Alva and Klukai, who were struck by the data surge earlier, are gradually regaining consciousness as well.
よかった。みんな無事ね。
ここはもうすぐ崩れるわ。今すぐ離れないと。
いや、待って。オルフェルーネはさっき隣にいたはずじゃ。
申し訳ありません。
Sorry, Ojo-sama.
見つけたのは
I want to keep her.
でもオルフェルーネは確かに私と一緒に。
Rose and Voimastina exchange a silent glance.
指揮官。そのオルフェルーネって一体誰のことなの？
Is no one gonna remember her?
何？
I look at Rose in confusion. She's been at my side ever since we entered Lviv. There's no way she wouldn't know who Orphelune is. Could something have happened out there just now? Something that damaged their neural data? I turn to Alva.
あればあなたは
Who's Orphelune? No! Ojo-sama!
知らない名前です。
どうなっているの？
Okay, we need to find Igla. Igla, do at least you remember Ojo-sama? But the urgency of the situation leaves no room for such pondering. We have to move.
あなたたちは先に撤退して。私はもう少し探してみる。
間に合いません。
Voimastina glances at the radar.
生き袋が来ています。
Oh man. Even here, in the deepest chamber of the underground lab, I can hear their distant roars. The shrieks grow closer as if they will tear through the walls and reach me at any moment. Yahoo! She sounds like such a cool character though. Like, what a nice name. But
ダメ。彼女を一人ここに残すわけにはいかない。
指揮官。
仮に死んだとしても遺体は回収したい。
I search frantically for any sign of Orphelune, but just as Groza and the others have said, I appear to be the only one here.
生き袋到着まで残り2分です。
So sad.
諦めたくはない。みんな悪いけどあと5分稼いで。ボイマスティナ、ここを一周してオルフェルーネを探したい。
はい。
お願い、ボイマスティナ。無茶な頼みなのは分かっているけど。
Please put up with my little request. Voimastina offers no objection, no trace of dissatisfaction. She simply stares straight at me with unwavering resolve.
みんな、指揮官のために時間を稼いで。生き袋は真下。8時方向の廊下と2時方向の実験室からやってくる。一匹たりともこの部屋に入れないで。
Alrighty, let's go. Man, after this, I should make a cup of Earl Grey in honor of Orphelune. Except, unfortunately, I don't have any mint or lemon. But it's okay, you know, the Earl Grey's the main part. Or I could make some really, really bad coffee, but no. I already had coffee earlier today and it was good coffee. Or actually, there might be some mint tea or maybe lemon tea. I just make a big mixture. But no, the main part, of course, is gonna be the Earl Grey. Ooh, grapes would be good too. Too late to order that at this point, since I'm gonna get some Thai food. Unless like message being like, yo, on the way back, you pick up some grapes, but nah, that's too much. Feeding on Voimosina's armor, I circled the entire underground laboratory. But Orpheloon, who was just with me before I blacked out, has vanished seemingly into thin air.
なんでこんなことに。オルフェルーネ、どこにいるの？返事して。
I shout her name, hoping for a reply from somewhere. No one answers.
限界です。これ以上は地下実験室が持ちません。ボイマスティナ。
Yeah, how nice of the commander's doll, so considerate in allowing her to play out her psychotic episode. When Messina ignites the thrusters without a word, and the armor lifts into the air. A piercing alarm echoes throughout the lab, chaos erupts around us. The ground trembles violently, rubble cascading from the shattered ceiling. Their armor looks heavy, but Messina maneuvers with remarkable agility as she evades the collapsing walls. Suddenly, a metal beam crashes down from above, hurling straight toward us. When Messina pushes the propulsion module to its limit, I feel as though I'm clinging to the wing of a jet. The air slicing across my face like blades. I grip her arm tightly. One slip, and I'll be thrown into the red-lit abyss below, buried alongside the Ellis beneath Lviv. Hello, hello. I'm surviving. There's a storm on its way, though, so let's see how this goes. Hopefully, House does not lose any power again from, like, last week, because that was bad. Just as the beam is about to crush us, when Messina twists the armor 180 degrees and catches it with her other arm. The impact rings out with a deafening clang, and a visible crack splits across the armor. I know that if she were alone, she would have avoided it easily, but to shield me from harm, she chooses to take the blow herself. Aww. The armor plummets for an instant, and then I hear the thrusters roar back to life. With a violent heave, Messina hurls a multi-ton beam into the abyss. Beep, 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 beep. System warning, left arm damage, sensor failure, shooting aid offline. The warning blares through the armor. I look at Messina, her face remains expressionless, yet the rapid flicker of orange light reflected across it tells me how grave the situation is. Rubble continues to rain down. The elements below surge upward in reckless pursuit. The armor darts like an arrow through the falling debris. But the earlier impact was clearly dulled by Messina's responsiveness. Several chunks of rubble fly toward us. Without thinking, I draw my pistol and shatter one midair. Two more pieces slam into the armor's head with a dull thud. Wait, Messina? Oh no! She mentioned earlier that the armor's visual system is connected to Task Force Defy's exclusive Wi-Fi, one of the key advantages that sets Defy apart from ordinary dolls. If the visual system is compromised, her firepower is severely reduced. While fending off Elids trying to leap onto the armor, my mind races for a way to get us out alive.
こっちの支援に回れる。
あと50メートル上へ来てもらえれば。
指揮官、協力してほしいことがあります。
もちろん。何をすればいい？
視覚モジュールと射撃補助システムが破損しています。なので手動で敵を照準します。そのための目になって。
I need you to beat my eyes. Okay.
はい。私に務まるの？
信じています。
That's a lot of trust.
そう言われたら断れないわね。
The armor continues weaving at full speed. Through the violent air currents, I lift my head and begin calling out targets.
実験室の方向、方位000、上角30度、距離20メートル、2匹。
Bang bang. But Messina fires precisely according to my callouts, shooting them down. Seeing her accuracy steadies my nerves.
2階デッキ、方位210、上角マイナス5度、距離35メートル。真下垂直線から30度、距離。
I'm very close. She keeps firing as we near Groza's extraction point.
左前方。間に合わない。
Too late. An Ellie leaps into Messina's leg. As her body drops sharply, more begin swarming onto the armor. I glance upward. We're less than 10 meters from the extraction point.
あと少しよ。最大出力で飛んで。
アルバ、指揮官を。
Whee! Before Alba can respond, Messina's arm dip. Suddenly, I feel weightless. With all her strength, Messina hurls me out of the alien-infested laboratory. Alva reaches forward and catches me. Her strength absorbs most of the impact. We roll across the ground before coming to a stop. I look down to the opening, but Messina's nowhere in sight. She'll be fine, right? Almost a minute passes, still no sign of her. But I refuse to believe that she would fall so easily. I refuse to believe Messina would go down like this. Boom! Thunder's explosion roars upward with a powerful blast of air. One detonation follows another, as if something has ignited the sewer gas below, reducing Chiloveg's entire research facility to ashes. Alva throws herself over me, shielding me from the searing shockwave, but I no longer care. I turn toward the opening, waiting for something, anything to emerge. Oh, we hear her, that's good. At last, a familiar voice crackles through the communicator. As the heat dissipates, a battered suit of armor rises from the opening and stumbles onto solid ground.
指揮官、申し訳ありません。生き袋が地上まで出ていかないように実験室を爆破しなければいけませんでした。だから先に指揮官を安全な場所に。
No worries, that's fine, Messina. Ah, but the evidence. Oop.
大丈夫です。あなたが生きていることが一番の証拠になります。
Alva steps closer and lowers her voice.
私たちを信じてください。まだ遺跡を止めるために頑張っている人がいます。
それってもしかしてミッション。
Alva nods.
それならなぜ保安局を離れたと言っているの？
名義上私たちは確かにもう政府に所属していません。指揮官と同じように私たちも契約を受け入れた身です。内容はあなたとは違いますが、今の反逆正体はもうただの特殊部隊ではありません。この10年間私たちはずっとこの名前に新しい意味を見出そうとしていました。
Forging a new
今
meaning.
はまだ詳細を教えるわけにはいきませんが、いつか必ず反逆という名前の意味も含めて。
That sounds nice.
少し話しすぎました。本題に戻りましょう。指揮官、今後は立場上苦しい日々が続くでしょう。
Ah, yes, difficult days, alright.
反逆正体はいつでもあな
That's
たの味
gonna
方
be
です。かつて
an
の反逆
experience. I look at Alva in confusion. She offers me a calm, unwavering smile and says nothing more. In that fleeting moment, I'm reminded of the commander they served 10 years ago. The one who truly made the name Defy an irreplaceable symbol. The sun rises once more over Lviv. The long night has finally passed, giving way to dawn that stirs both awe and sorrow. The vines that once spread widely across the city have vanished. Survivors stare at the ravaged streets in confusion, as if unable to comprehend what has transpired. But the ruined buildings and shattered infrastructure stand in silent testimony to the night's events.
指揮官、撤退ルートはすでに確保済みです。
A lot has happened in one night. Leon's words are cut short by a heavy mechanical hum, followed by running footsteps and the rumble of armored vehicles. In the next instant, dozens of targeting reticles lock onto me and my subordinates.
久しぶりだな、指揮官。
A familiar voice speaks from behind me. It's Javier. Hi, Javier.
次の目標を教えてください。
Ooh! Fortress behind the curtain. Oh my. Did you see me? I wish we could have kept Gojo-sama. I really do. The curtain falls, but the show is nowhere near over.
久しぶりだな、指揮官。
I turn around. Javier walks toward me from behind the ring of gun barrels aimed at my head.
ハーベルさん、
Hi.
これはどういうことですか？
こんな形の再会になって本当に申し訳ない。避難誘導と安全確保のため、現在リビウは非軍事勢力管理局と第7区中央方面軍の管理下に入っている。
安心するといい。避難は終わっている。厄介な怪物もジラードグループ本部の付近にしか
Javier Whitkin is the one who founded IOP, the company that had the idea of turning cute female civilian dolls into T dolls for use in PMCs to improve public image. Oh my. I glance at the surrounding soldiers. None of them are wearing protective masks. I see none of the intermittent green haze that accompanies particle dispersal. What is going on?
さて、指揮官、少し話をしようか。
話
Yeah, what
リビウ
situation?
の地下はほとんどパラデウスのアジトでした。なのに私を問い詰めるのはロレン政府のやり方ですか。
落ち着きたまえ。君を非難するつもりはない。ただ、君は曰くつきなのでね。ここに現れた以上、納得のいく
I'm innocent, I
説明
swear.
がななければ、私も上に報告できない。
それはこっちのセリフです。なぜ10年前消えたはずのパラデウスが
I
こ
was
の
here
リビ
to
ウで
rescue
堂
my
々と
daughter
大規模な
Helena.
実験を行っていたのか。
What was that?
なぜパラデウスの仕業だと確信している。もし証拠があるのなら
Ah, evidence.
そうすれば君が満足する結果が出るまで私がいろいろと
When we were in
取り
G&K,
計
he
ら
was
ってやろう。
valid, but clearly had his own ulterior
同
motives.
じようにね。
昔のあなた
Ooh,
が
an important rose artist who helped
こんな
found
時
the
に銃口を向け
URNC.
ることはなかった。
Ultimately,
そ
his
して
loyalty
パラ
was
デウ
with
ス
the
を調
Earl
べるの
Griffin Lions.
証拠が
Ah.
いるなんて言わなかったでしょう。
Javier casts a thoughtful glance at the soldiers around us, then returns his gaze to my face. He waves his hand, the soldiers lower the weapons.
指揮官、信頼は相互関係。
どういう意味ですか。
サミット会場の監視カメラに君の姿が映っていた。怪しい人物と接触していたそうじゃ。
Improper contact?
怪しい人物。誰のことですか。
例えば今回の事件の容疑者、ジラードグループの現捜査
Mr. Oleg, what do you mean, Mr. Oleg? I was the Orphaloon.
オレク・ジラード。何を言っているんですか。
He's not my お嬢様。
そもそも待って。楽園計画の責任者。
He could do some small favors to the energy of the one.
奴はただの操り人形ではあったが、全くの無実というわけではない。そしてこのリビウを滅ぼしかねない実験の現場に君がいた。
Javier's lie is so clumsy it feels like an insult. I've never attended the summit, nor have I met Oleg. The one who made contact with him was Kruger, and he died afterward. He does not even mention Orphan's name. This method is not unfamiliar, it is entirely consistent with their style, and yet, something is off. Though I've had no direct contact with him for 10 years, from our prior communications and this meeting, I know Javier has not changed much. He is skilled at twisting facts and spinning an official truth for public release. When dealing with me, someone who knows the inside story, he would not treat the other party as a fool. He would offer appropriate bargaining chips instead, making refusal difficult. Forcing fabricated facts onto me and coercing compliance is not his style. In this case,
オルフェルーネは。
それは誰なんだい。
Javier's expression barely changes. For an old fox like him, that is hardly surprising. But the confusion in his eyes is genuine. He does not know who Orphaloon is. He does not know who Orphaloon is either. What the heck did everyone experience? Just what is going on? It is as if no one but me remembers that Orphaloon never existed.
ヘレナを探し、楽園計画を調査することがクルーガーさんに言い渡された任務です。だから計画の責任者に接触したことも、パラデウスの実験室に潜入したことも、すべて。
指揮官、それは分かっている。
Like if you don't remember Orphaloon, do you at least remember Igla? No?
でもいいことだ。要するに、君はやりすぎたのだよ。オレクの企みを止められたのはいい。10年前と同じように 君はやってはいけないことをした。
You did something you should not have
だから
done.
私も10年前のように君を助けに来たつもりだ。ヘレナをこちらに渡せば君のやらかしには目をつむろう。
ハーベルさん、私の任務はヘレナを非軍事勢力管理局に預けることです。
私をクルーガーの代わりだと思ってくれてかも。
だったらクルーガーさんと話をさせてください。
いや、汚れ役は私の仕事だ。君も分かっている。
Yeah, Eloy was a third gen doll who was Owen's bodyguard. Totally.
すなわち管理局の意思なのだよ。
ヘレナをどうするつもりですか？本当にジラードグループを摘発するために証人として扱ってくれますか？
もちろん。
ハーベルさん、ヘレナの安全を誓ってくれますか？
Oh? I detect a brief hesitation in Javier's tone. To someone who knew and worked with him 10 years ago, that fleeting pause is telling enough.
やはり聞こえのいい嘘。
Well, well, well.
私は君を困らせるつもりはない。ただ、
ハーベル、私が話そう。
Behind Javier, a soldier hands him a communicator. Javier frowns, clearly displeased, but he still raises the device before me. From the communicator, that cold voice sounds once more. I look at Javier. Perhaps because of the man speaking through the communicator, for the first time in all these years, he cannot meet my eyes. In that instant, understand everything.
やはりあなたですか。さあ、
手短に言おう。指揮官、10年前のことについて。
Hello, Earl.
私はもう一度チャンスをあげたいと思っている。君の選択を教えてくれたまえ。結果次第で
Everything you desire can be granted.
どんな話にでも応じるつもりだ。もちろん、ヘレナのことも含めて、全てを君に任せることすらできる。ハリネズミか。
This voice is the one from our phone call in the flashback at the start of the game.
私は選ばない。
10年、君は何も変わっていないのか。
何も変わらなかったからこそ、あなたの言葉が嘘なのが分かった。今回は逃げではない。私は私の理想の世界のために動いている。さあ、あなたの理想はすでに歪んでいる。間違ったやり方で正しい結果は得られない。
生意気な。
ええ、生意気よ。それでも私は後悔しない。
どうやらもう決めたようだな。
From the communicator, oops. From the communicator, the Earl issues a final command.
どうかもう一度。
やれ。
The soldiers around us raise their guns once more. Javier turns his gaze toward me and strikes the ground sharply with his cane. Oh no!
やれ。
Oops! Ah, so this is how we become a wanted criminal. New script. How should this story continue? Well, at least to become the Tomato Emperor, and that's a cool title. Plus, a cute plushie that I'm excited to get later on. I can't wait for it to arrive. Tomato Emperor, please.
その途中、リーダー格と思われる人物が重傷を負いました。現在、軍は土地を封鎖し、捜索範囲を広げています。また、今回の事件を引き起こしたテロリストは、LVI-13 で発生した事件の犯人と同一人物であることも判明しました。当局は、犯人の外見や特徴を公表し、市民の協力を呼びかけています。
Beep. Gritting my teeth against the stabbing pain in my abdomen, I sit up and switch off the radio broadcast. When I look down, I see blood faintly seeping through the gauze. Rosa notices that I'm awake and quickly comes to my side. Good morning, Rosa.
大丈夫？まだ痛む？
いいえ、平気よ。
I press a hand against my abdomen, hiding the blood from Rosa's view. Dang, I sound so terrible according to that broadcast.
そよ風正体の素体損傷が一番ひどくて部品の交換が必要なんだけど今の状況じゃ一番近くの修理所に行くことすら難しいわだから一旦ポルドニッツァに互換品を注文するしか
ええそれでいいわ
それにしてもあの兵士たち狙いが悪いわね
ハーベルさんの計らいでしょ
I recall a scene after Javier struck the ground with his cane. There's a subtle shift in the soldier's eyes. I seize a moment to have Monsoon Squad deploy smoke grenades. We board the helicopter sent to extract us amid the chaos, though I still ended up taking a bullet to the abdomen.
そうだアルバとボイマスティノは
偵察に出ているわ警察も賞金ハンターも私たちを探している
Great.
賞金ハンターが賞金首になる日が来るとはね
I let out a sigh and flop back onto the bed as if surrendering to fate. Rosa gently pats my hair to soothe me. Thank you, Rosa.
グローザ頼みたいことがある
何
オルフェルーネという人物について調べて
Yeah, or balloon.
一体何が起きたのか
実はもう調べてあるんだけど
結果は
自分で見た方がいいわ
Rosa hands me a few thin sheets of paper.
これだけ
ええそれで
Wow. I skimmed through the documents. It is clear that Rosa has made every effort to collect what she can about Orpheloon, but the contents are sparse. Because Orpheloon's personal history is nowhere near as rich as I remember, the very first line of the file bears a piece of news that leaves me stunned. Orpheloon Gerard, the only daughter of Oleg, current CEO of the Gerard Group, tragically perished in the Frankfurt incident 10 years ago. A whelp? I considered many possibilities. But this so-called fact far exceeds anything I imagined. I stared at the line for a long time, unable to calm my thoughts. Suddenly, I remembered the words spoken to me 10 years ago during the Frankfurt incident by the girl named Lunasia, and the many other worlds she showed me. The countless possibilities woven together by threads, stirred by blue butterflies. Nirvana.
そうだ指揮官実はもう一つ
Rosa seems hesitant.
どうかした
メッセージが一件
Oh, a new
届いている
message.
わそれを開けていいのか
メッセージ誰からの
暗号化されているからわからないだから安易に開けていいのかどうか
わかった転送して
I ask Rosa to leave the voice message with me. After she leaves, I stared at it for a long time. A few minutes later, with a soft beep, the message begins to play.
指揮官様カリーナですタイミングが悪いのは分かっていますただ
Oh yeah, we still owe Kalina
ど
that
うして
date.
も連絡したかったので指揮官様はテロリストなんかじゃありません私は
Thank you, Kalina.
無実を信じています
We're gonna take you to the best restaurant
私にできることがあ
eventually.
ればいつでも連絡してくださいご飯の件も
See, look, she mentions it. A sudden burst of chaotic noise and hurried footsteps cuts through the recording. Oh no! Helena, no! Beep. People's memories weren't changed. We moved to a different world line. When our Orpheloon died 10 years ago. And thanks to us entering Nirvana, we only know about it. Only we know about it. Aww. The message cuts off abruptly.
カリーナ
ジラードグループ最後の嘘やっと手に入れた
The merman admires the third gen doll suspended before him with satisfaction. She hangs in midair, limbs fixed by precise metallic arms, as though nailed to an invisible cross. Eagle's torso is open, revealing the intricate structures within. Several data cables wind out of her exposed chest cavity, connecting to surrounding receivers. The only part of her body that still can move, her eyes, roll wildly, as if searching for something. Is she also looking for Ojula-sama? Her vocal module is already damaged, and only garbled syllables escape her. Look, she remembers Ojula-sama!
おっと、発生モジュールを停止するのを忘れていました。
Do not silence Igla. Zimmerman presses a button. Igla falls silent.
ご満足いただけました。
期待通りの結果です。
Aww.
今はさ、トルベングループとはいい関係が
Look, Igla, you and I can bond over our memories of Ojo-sama. We're the only ones who remember.
ティマーマン様、今日は珍しくご機嫌のようですね。
ああ、いいことがあった。役員会のファイルを整理したら上がっていい。
かしこまりました。
Zimmerman exits the opulent and spacious office, leaving the secretary alone to diligently organize the files. Igla's loyalty transcends timeline. She will always be loyal to Orphe. I love that. A short while later, she places the last document into its folder, closes the cabinet, and dusts her hands off.
今日は忙しかったわ。
Igla has a new owner in the later events, one who constantly wipes her memories. At the headquarters of the Orlog conglomerate, a woman who appears to be a secretary finishes her day's work and stretches. She then picks up the phone and dials a number.
あら、今日は帰るのが早かったね。今夜何にする？フィレミニョンのステーキに。
Ooh.
七はどう？はーい。エスカルゴも付け加えるね。
Yummy
今日の仕
snails.
事はもう全部終わったわ。残業もない。ええ。だから家でゆっくり待ってて。
After hanging up, she sighs helplessly. She sits back down and begins typing briskly on the keyboard.
まったくもう、いつも心配させるんだから。
彼女からか？
うん。指揮官絡みの面倒事は何とかしてくれるって。
怒られると思って
た。相手が指揮官だからなのかもしれない。あるいは組織から。
My first thought was gonna be the secretary would be that one pink-haired doll, but probably not.
私たちの任務だから。
任務がなくてもそうしていた。
Okay then, if it's Lentine.
そうかもね。ただ指揮官とコンタクトを取るタイミングが組織の計画よりもだいぶ前倒しになってしまった。
その方がいい。指揮官には私たちも必要だ。パラデウスは強い。
Pardeus is strong.
失敗はパラデウスにとってそんなに響かなかったみたい。この状況を作ったのはキツネとハリネズミの争いだけじゃない。
Fox the Hedgehog, ah yes. Tails and Sonic.
私だってそういうのは嫌い。けど私たちも武力以外の戦い方を覚えないと今後の変化についていけない。さあ自ら指揮官の前に現れるなんて思わなかった。
Ooh, it's on our
組織
side.
がいてくれなければあっちもそう簡単に引き下がらなかったかも。
わからないな。全部計画のうちじゃなかったのか。
Alva falls silent briefly. She's not accustomed to nor skilled at navigating conspiracies and schemes. Fortunately, she once had a close partner, a true master of the craft, from whom she now draws inspiration.
今後どうなるかはわからないけど誰も予想できない展開の方が私たちにとっては好都合。相手はすでに切り札を切った。なら私たちの切り札もそろそろ現れるはず。それまでには少し大変なことになるかもね。
はっ。
We met her in this event, at least a version of her. Ooh. Okay, if it's one with connection to the Phi. I mean, there's the one with her eyes closed. Or there's that one that was with Ange. So I'm gonna guess the eyes closed one. Seeing the look on Wemesina's face, Alva smiles gently.
だよね。そういうのはとっくに慣れている。
Alva looks down at the documents on the desk, her gaze mild and tender. She murmurs softly, her trust in that person apparent in her steady voice. Okay, AK-12.
指揮官。 希望が見えるその瞬間まで。
Ooh. Oh, special images. Oh, that's cool as a storyboard. Hi, Igla. Oh, hi, Igla. Oh, Joe-sama, look, she's real. She existed all along. Ooh, and special music. Ooh, her original frame was destroyed, which opened the door to Ange being captured and killed. Ah. Poor Ange. Igla, I wish we could have kept you instead. Man. Oh yeah, I'm glad that I was able to finish Corpus on. What a bittersweet event. Oh, Joe-sama. I do wish we could have kept her. Who created Phi died, so a new frame couldn't be built for her, and now 8 people are stuck in the doll frame originally made by Cardeas. Should make it perfect going undercover. Ah. Oh man. And now darkness. Dots. The shadowless lamps in the operating room blaze with a blinding glare. Operating? It was good, it was very good. But it does hurt. Chiloveg feels a wave of dizziness wash over her. Chiloveg? Every joint, every muscle, every bone in her body throbs with a strange and unnatural pain. And yet, she is still alive. No, that is not right. Is she truly alive? This body, is it really still her own? No, she cannot make a sound, nor can she sense anything tangible. Her body feels unbearably heavy, yet at the same time as though it's floating in a void. Hiss.
おや、目が覚めたか。久しぶりの手術だから。
え？
失敗したかと思って視界から残存意識を救い出し新しい世界に入れるのはそう簡単なことだ。まずはその
Take your time.
その後悲願で見たすべて
Meanwhile, Orphalune does not know when she has awakened. Ooh, Orphalune! She's returned to this place, strange yet overwhelmingly familiar, but she cannot remember how she arrived. Her last memory is of merging with Chiloveg into the deep sea of the torrent of consciousness. Just as she has surrendered herself to the descent, someone reached out and caught her. Ooh? Who was it? That memory is already scattered like drifting smoke. Now she feels as though she is still floating in the deep sea, rising and sinking with soundless waves. She senses light flickering down through the surface above, shining upon her, warm and viscous. Could she have continued sleeping like this forever? Orphalune feels that it is time for her to awaken. So she opens her eyes. Good morning, Ojo-sama. Her vision is blurred as though some strange lens is covering her sight, rendering the world warped and distorted. The only thing she can see clearly is a reflection cast upon the dome-like ceiling above. When she lifts her head, she stares at the reflection in disbelief. It's her. that's how it ends? Ojo-sama? Well, at least Ojo-sama, there's some hope for her. Oh gosh, that's so funny though if Chiller Baby came on dinner gate. Well, that's what she gets. That's what she deserves. And look at all these delicious collapsed pieces. I'm sorry, Sextons. I do want to throw them at you, but at the same time, Sopo comes out in a month. And I feel some fear. Like, sure, I'm planning to give everything to Sopo. But I don't know if my everything's enough, especially if I keep losing 50-50s. Blah. Just hope and love. Okay, where were those briefings? I forget how to get there. Was it storeroom? Or no, it's not storeroom. We get back out there. Yeah, at least there'll be a rerun eventually. Keyword eventually. Oh, it's in the server room. Okay. So there's all these ones. Oops, not that one. Okay, and then classified briefings. Or wait, was it something else? Was it back there? Oops. Server room, almost server trace back. Okay. Yep, trace back. And yeah, so many secret. Lots and lots of secret. Now what was that special thing called? Which is the proper one? The man, I got so many. Okay. Secret logs of the livid violent uprising incident. That should be it. Cell sections. Take this. Ooh, and each document gives class pieces perfect. Third generation doll, STR-03A482. Formerly designated IGLA, Neural Cloud Extraction Report. Department URNC, Ministry of Defense, Military Research Institute, Laboratory 3. Data Entry Operator, Nikolai Ronin. Report date, beep of beep, 27 beep, security level top secret. During the Lviv armed uprising, this laboratory managed to successfully acquire a third-generation doll, STR-03A482, formerly designated IGLA, by order of the MOD General Staff. We performed a comprehensive extraction and analysis of IGLA's neural cloud records. While the target's neural cloud was severely damaged, our laboratory used the neural cloud overriding system, QNIS, data to perform a destructive extraction of the the target records. As ordered by our superiors, during this process, IGLA was completely quiescent. During our deep dive into the subject's neural cloud data, our laboratory managed to recover several anomalous neural cloud memory fragments. Analysis revealed discrepancies between these fragments and actual events, and most of them concerned the deceased Orphelin Gerard, who was confirmed to have perished during the Frankfurt bombardment incident in 2064, long before IGLA's first experimental activation. Simulation files of some of the anomalous neurocloud records follow. File 1, Initial encounter between IGLA and Orphelin Gerard. Note, according to the neural records, Orphelin Gerard was 16 years old at this time. File 2. Igla assisting Orphelin Gerard with her daily life. File number 3. Igla attending the inaugural Gerard Group Technology Summit alongside Orphelin Gerard. Note, the other woman in this file is speculated to be an adult projection of Orphelin Gerard as simulated by Igla's neural cloud. Yeah, just simulated, huh? File 16. Igla, protecting Orphelin Gerard during the armed uprising. Subsequently, our laboratory analyzed all the anomalous neural cloud data and discovered a subroutine in the base layer code linked to an unknown data source. Measurements show that the frequencies generated by this subroutine were highly similar to certain wavelengths captured during the abnormal weather phenomena that accompanied the Lviv armed uprising. It is suspected that they are related to the relic, research being constructed by the Beep department. For safety's sake, the researchers involved in this data extraction have already backed up the data to a server terminal. We perform a secondary extraction and analysis within 3 to 6 months in an attempt to find any correlation between them and reality. Based on the final decision by the MLD, our laboratory has decided to dispose of the third generation doll STR-03A482 by neutralizing it. The precise methodology is as follows. Number 1, STR-03A482 will be completely decrypted and placed in long-term hibernation. The frame of the third generation doll STR-03A482 will be moved from this lab to an underground isolation area. Number 3, the isolation area's EMI screens will be activated to cut off all potential long-range transmissions and sever any connection with the outside world. Number 4, its eternal self-replication will be deleted and SCR-03A482's self-identity will be redefined. This concludes the full content of the neural log extraction report. Once again, we emphasize that the text of this document is classified at the top secret level. All personnel who have contact with this document must adhere to the procedure for handling classified documents of a high security level. For Igla. Now for the next one. Electronic record. I'll take that one. Quasi-full immune individual H35 transfer report. Laboratory identification code FRA N50.12-E9.15. Observation subject quasi-full immune individual H35. Emergent state beep of beep 27 beep. Since emergence, full immune individual H35 has been placed under observation at the experimental base FRA 950.12E9.15. H35's development has been relatively slow compared to other quasi-full immune individuals of the same type. The subject has not yet developed self-consciousness until around 4 weeks ago. On the beep of beep, H35 demonstrated an abnormal reaction during the routine vital sign checks. The base's data entry operator immediately performed a full vital scan on the subject. The results indicated a significantly increased response to collapsed radiation particles, with an immune response intensity exceeding all previous records for other samples throughout the history of the entire experimental program. Yeah, Igla, your feelings for her are not real. Igla, they're real to me. Which is why Igla and I will bond over Ojo-sama. It's fun. After that, the base supervisor immediately contacted the Black Zone Sanctuary. The research team sent research personnel to the base in question and drew up an experimental regime for quasi-full immune individual H35. Number 1, collapsed particle endurance test. Radiation dose intensity would be steadily increased to assess H35's maximum dose tolerance. Number 2, genomic expression analysis. H35's genome would be sequenced in order to identify any unforeseen mutations. Number 3, consciousness separation experiment. Using dissociation techniques to separate H35's mind and body to determine if H35 had been invaded by other consciousnesses. Number 4, electroencephalogram response test, simulating H35's brain regions with extreme and varied voltage spikes to measure the subject's response speed to various voltages. That sounds painful. No, some content in the above-mentioned report might be disturbing to viewers, so it has been blurred out. Preliminary experimental results indicate that H35 has stronger resistance to collapse radiation particles compared to other quasi-full immune individuals. The Blackstone research team has already removed H35 from experimental base FRA N50.12E9.15 and begun a long-term observation of H35. Meanwhile, the base of this data has also been dealt with. After taking the special nature of H35 into consideration, the research teams has raised the security level to the maximum. All experiments concerning this quasi-full immune individual must be conducted under the strictest possible biosafety measures in order to prevent any possible mutations or spread. Terrifying. Electronic records. I do wonder when my food's gonna get here. Come on, family, return. Bring me my dinner. Anomalous Consciousness Entity KO1 Observation Report. Department, Moscow Central Academy of Sciences. Istok Research Institute. Recorder, Professor. Report date, beep of beep, 27 beep. Security level, Alpha. Abstract. This report details preliminary observations and analysis of the anomalous consciousness core recovered during the Lviv incident, codenamed K01, formerly known as Chiloveg. Ah, there she is. Given the destruction of its original brain vessel, this consciousness has been successfully transferred to a new experimental frame. Observation logs. Subject K01 exhibited a highly unstable mental state within 72 hours after awakening, displaying cyclical patterns of mania and dormancy, with multiple logic errors being detected in her biological function simulation systems. Ooh, H35's in Sexton's event. During her dormant phases, subject K01 would spend extended periods staring at blank white walls, her lips moving silently, as though she was having a conversation with a non-existent partner. High-definition audio capture allowed us to discern frequently repeated words like gate, key, and blessed one. During its manic phases, the subject would emit shrill inhuman laughter, an attempt to break her restraints. There was no discernible logic to her aggressive behavior, which seemed like simple emotional outbursts. Initial conclusions. Observations show that subject K01 is highly fixated on the concept of Orpheline Gerard. Ah yes, they're all obsessed with Orpheline. She frequently mentions the girl who closed the gate and demonstrates an intense desire to destroy and analyze said concept. Rather than simple hatred, she does not seem to understand the rules which led her to rejection and attributes it all to this Orpheline Gerard. I must find her! Subject K01 screamed during one of her manic phases. Even if she's become data and melded with that domain, I'll drag her out. I'll tear her apart and find out exactly what's inside her. Why did it have to be her? Why did it have to be someone who was so stupid she needed me to teach her math? Final evaluation and suggestions. Although subject K01 had suffered a complete mental breakdown, her memories hold incalculable research valuable as the only known blessed one consciousness entity who has entered nirvana and been affected by it. Her madness is not necessarily an impediment, but a potential non-logical alternative course to understanding the rules which govern the gate. Addendum: investigation to the Lviv incident will need to be reopened. Like, why is everyone so obsessed with Orpheline, this Orpheline Gerard? She died 10 years ago. Wow, we can all bond. Us, Igla, and Chiloveg. Ah, yes. Ojo-sama. Ojo-sama, Ojo-sama. Well, it's gonna be fun seeing H35 later on Sexton's event. Maybe I'll start on Sunday. Potentially, yes. I think starting on Sunday sounds good. And then I can finish it on Monday, assuming it shouldn't be as long as the other events, right? Or this event, so... Yeah, and all three of us feel exactly the same way about Orphalune. We all love her so much. Iglin wants to protect her. We want to protect her. Jiloveg just wants to research her at this point. Oops. Okay, it's a short event. That's good then. Okay, that's not bad then. Where's the aid squad log? Oh wait, there it is. I got this. Case file LP0524. Yes. Report 1. Task Force Defy contact and intelligence gathering report. Igla's gonna be huffing that copium. Oh no. Agent in charge, Mona. Mission date, beep of beep. 27 beep. Report date, beep of beep. 27 beep. Classification, top secret. Mission overview. In accordance with the long-term cooperative agreement between the Stacy and Task Force Defy, the squad conducted regular intelligence sharing missions at regular intervals and coordinate information regarding the armed uprising in Lviv. Agent Mona established communications with task members and with members of Task Force Defy through encrypted communications channels. The liaison counterpart's identification code was confirmed as AK-12. After identity was verified, the exchange of information began. During the communication, the liaison furnished supplementary information regarding the Lviv incident to Agent Mona. The description of this information indicates that there are significant discrepancies between official records and the intelligence held by Task Force Defy. Oh, Mona's a state sec doll from GFL1. She worked alongside Kevin, aka Jay, and though he initially disliked her, they eventually became very close. Aww. Dialogue transcript partial. Yo, it's been a while, Miss Mona. How's Mr. Director been doing lately? Did he get promoted again? You're currently in a highly adverse environment. We need to complete this information exchange ASAP. Don't worry about it. I'll do my best to make it quick and simple. Based on our intel, there has been a distortion in your perceptions, or rather, that of the world as a whole. You might not remember it, but something huge happened. What? The gate that has been open again. Tell your boss, he'll know what I mean. I'll tidy up the details and send the report over to your terminal. Yes. The two of them will be staying with the commander for the time being. We won't reveal too much about Stacy, so don't worry about it. Understood. The information points follow. Point 1. Task Force Defy claims that a major collapsed particle contamination incident took place. Point 2. The incident's true perpetrator is a deceased individual, Orphalune Gerard. Note, official records indicate said individual perished in the Frankfurt incident. Point 3. According to the witness testimony, some of the correction phenomenon occurred, causing most people's memories to be rewritten. Point 4. The large-scale energy field fluctuations detected in Lviv have been corroborated by multiple civilian and government agencies that are suspected to be related to this correction phenomenon. Further investigation is underway. Point 5. According to witness testimony, the criminal organization Paradeus is closely linked to this incident. However, relevant data was not submitted and appears to have been destroyed. Point 6. The NOFA intervened and found important stolen equipment in the Paradeus laboratory located in the White Zone of city of Lviv. It has been recovered and transferred by NOMFA. Intelligence evaluation. Following professional analysis, the above-mentioned information is highly controversial at a theoretical physics level. There is no scientific basis for the reality correction mentioned in the transcript. However, the weather abnormalities during the Lviv insurgence has been verified as having been caused by energy field fluctuation, and the possibility of phenomena beyond the bounds of conventional scientific understanding cannot be ruled out. The liaison demonstrated a high degree of logical consistency and integrity during the communications process. It is recommended that this information be further analyzed. In accordance with the established cooperative agreement, Task Force Defy has conveyed its willingness to continue our cooperation and agreed to help establish a channel for communication with the target, codename Commander. Follow-up action: stay in contact but maintain utmost secrecy. Immediately report any abnormal situations that arise. Assistant Director Beep. Aw, how nice. Codename Commander. I wonder who that could be. And now this one. Boop. Hello, hello. Report 2, Non-Military Forces Administration Surveillance Report. Agent in charge, Mona. Surveillance target, Nomfa Counselor Helena. Beep. Report date, beep of beep. 27 beep. Classification, secret. Oh my. Mission overview. Following the events of the Lviv armed uprising, a major personnel upheaval took place within Nomfa. Many mid to high-ranking officials were subjected to internal disciplinary review for misconduct. Per directives from superior officers, this team performed ongoing surveillance on the key target, Counselor Helena. On the beep of beep 27 beep, the target individual engaged in private, unauthorized communication with the internationally wanted fugitive known as Beep, operational codename Commander. Analysis of the intercepted transmission indicates that Counselor Helena expressed her support for the fugitive and a willingness to offer assistance. Helena, no! Don't get in trouble! Ooh, Kevin's old mentor and partner Kate officially died during the Frankfurt incident, but his death was off-screen and was just reported to us. Ooh. He could be alive in that case. Review of process. Beep of beep. Counselor Helena was placed under arrest and subjected to questioning by Internal Affairs. Beep of beep. Her personal communications devices underwent a thorough examination and multiple encrypted messages related to the commander were discovered on them. Beep of beep. The NOMFO director, Kruger, issued a statement on this matter saying that violations will be dealt with severely. Oh no! Oh no, spilled water all over your bed. Ooh, ah. Maybe the bed was thirsty. Oh, he could be one of the ones who are promoted. Intelligence evaluation. Counselor Helena is currently under the investigation, and her duties have been temporarily suspended. Internal sources indicate that she firmly believes in the commander's innocence and refuses to admit any wrongdoing. This incident has exasperated factionalization within the NOMFA. Addendum. Counselor Helena's perception of the incident is normal. No indication that she is aware of the reality correction phenomenon was discovered. Attachment. Intercepted partial communications log encrypted. This file was for authorized personnel only. Agent in charge Mona. Surveillance target NOMFA director Beep Kruger. Report date beep of beep 27 beep. Classification secret. Mission overview. During the Lviv armed uprising, Director Kruger of the NOMFA, in his capacity as the individual bringing charges against the Gerard Group and the leader of the persecution against the same, granted the international fugitive known as Beep, operational codename Commander, access to a white zone city. Following the terrorist attack on Lviv led by Beep, operational codename Commander, Director Kruger was placed under internal disciplinary review for misconduct. The investigation was terminated the following day due to a lack of evidence. Intelligence evaluation. Director Kruger claimed complete ignorance of the actions taken by the international fugitive Beep, operational codename Commander. Testimony from involved persons indicate that during the time of the incident, the director was in the middle of negotiations with the Gerard Group's representative, and no abnormalities were discovered during the proceedings. Director Kruger has not made any public statements or comments concerning the fugitive Beep, suggesting some level of dissatisfaction with the findings of the investigation. Addendum. Director Kruger similarly exhibits normal perceptions of the situation. There is no indication that he is aware of the reality correction phenomenon. Intelligence evaluation. Counselor Helena and Director Kruger served as key government figures during the Lviv incident. Both of them have expressed their trust in the international fugitive Beep, albeit in different ways. Based on the testimony of Task Force Phi and the agent assessment, both subjects have recruitment value. Oh wait, mom's messaging. What is she saying real quick? Let me check that. Nothing important. In addition, no relevant information regarding the reality correction phenomenon was obtained from Counselor Helena or Director Kruger, further corroborating the unverifiable nature of the incident. Investigation indicates that Mr. Beep has recently deployed a large scientific detachment to Lviv. It is yet unclear whether it is related to this matter. Mr. Beep, huh? Follow-up action. Maintain surveillance. Assistant Director Beep. Man, so much redaction. I do love that though, for Operational Codename Commander. I wonder who that could be. Oh man. What logs? It's gonna be so exciting going into Sexton's event. Like, I'm excited for that one. And then the Insanity event afterwards. Oh, I'm so excited for Sopal. My wallet is feeling fear, but it's okay. There's a month of prepping, it's fine. And yeah, we need a bleep sound button, just for beep, beep, beep. So much beep, redacted, redacted, redacted. And where's my dinner? Maybe my family's already eating it. Gosh darn it, I feel teased. I think it's been about an hour since I mentioned the Thai food, but oh well. And yeah, I'm glad I was able to experience the event with only minimal spoilers. Ojo-sama though. Oh, Ojo-sama. Man. And yes, I'm gonna instantly get everything for Sopo. I'm glad you're able to catch a stream too. Yay for finishing Peak. You know, after this, I'm just gonna buy that one. That one Sopo doll. It's gonna be funny, the crawling one. Hopefully she comes with batteries. Actually, I gotta read that. If I gotta buy batteries too, that's fine. I gotta make sure she doesn't fall off my bed though. So maybe whenever I press the buttons, I have to hold her. She can't actually run around. But she'll be cute. I can stare at her. And then of course I'm gonna get the other plushies. I already have them on the way, so hopefully they actually come in tomorrow. Cute scientists in GFO always either die or turn evil. Darn it. Man, that'll be fine though. Just a bit of waiting. But hopefully my dinner comes home soon, so then I can eat it before Fate Grand Order tonight. In like 40 minutes. I'm excited to continue the story for Ordeal Call 3. So I'm still finishing the summer event point ladder. I could have finished it a long time ago, but I'm not using the proper craft distances because I have issues. Like, sure, I could just get through that quickly, but no, I want Bond, Bond, Bond. Because I love that delicious Bond Saint Quartz. I'm pinching at pennies, basically. But oh well. I guess I'll wait in the living room. I'll stare out the window, hoping that my food will come here. I crave some spice or some crunch. If I can't have anything spicy, as long as there's something crunchy, which I believe. So I'll head out of my room for now. So that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, but gotcha luck. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. I'm hungry. And I had pancakes earlier today, but that was a long time ago. My doctor's appointment was at 10.